Yeah, to get our thoughts together. Yeah. Just
Well,
kind of explain what you're going to talk about.
we're live.
Oh, sorry.
And we're live. No, I'm kidding. Hi, Ange. How are you? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being the only one here. No, I'm kidding. Uh, so we're finally live. Um, anyway,
I would say hey everyone, but hey Angie.
hey, I know, right? Hey, Ange. We're gonna wait for some people to roll on in. Um, but you're number one, Ange. Remember that. Uh, that's so funny.
You got a
Um,
really good topic though. When you told me about that, and then you had the angle, I saw it right before you finished it, and I was just like, dang,
yeah,
that's so true. And man, they're gonna be buying that like hook, line, and sinker.
yeah. I got you, Brian. Right here. Come on in so I can delete this. There it is. There it
Alrighty.
is. Oh, waiting for people to come by. No, I don't want to start
We'll see
anything.
if Sunday is better than Saturday. It feels like Saturday for some reason.
Yeah, it kind of does. There he
Yeah.
is. Well, hello. How is you?
Yo, what's up? How you doing?
He's muted.
Okay,
So it won't
You
let
can
me.
delete it.
there he is.
It won't let me delete. Oh wait. Okay. Delete. Okay. What? It won't let me. It won't let me delete it. Is that weird? It
I
says
can
you
block you. I don't
can't.
want to do that.
Yeah, don't
I don't
block
worry
me.
about it.
Yeah. So we have Betsy in the house. Welcome, 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 Brian to the show. Welcome, Chuck Middleton and Dub Wilkinson to the show. Um, we're gonna just wait for everybody to come on in. Hello, Angie. So we got two in the chat now.
Brian, you're going to like this topic, man. This will hit home to you, especially
All right.
with the Brady Bunch.
We listen. We listen to your advice. We need some talking points. And I told Chuck.
Yeah, I told her what you said.
I said
That's a good idea, though.
no. It's very good because I was like, I don't like to be like that, but
Mhm.
because sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. There's too much going on. So I told Chuck now his job every week and my job every week. He's got to come up with a talking point, and I have to come up with a talking point, and then we're going to both present our talking points. And I think that's only fair. And if you're going to be on here, Brian, then you can come up with your own talking point. And then we have three talking points.
Yep. All right.
But I think we'll get him going once we get on this talking point. Because, like I said, this
Yeah.
is, you have 5 children, don't you, Brian?
Yeah, I got a handful.
Yeah, so definitely this is a good one. I didn't even put it together either. I was just clueless. And then when she was talking about it, it
Well,
kind of
and
hit me.
I had listened to a couple other channels that just that someone dropped a link, and they like start talking about it in like 5 minutes. I was like, boom, the lights came on, ding, 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 ding.
Yep.
I like it when that happens, and then I was
Hmm.
like, wow, this is what I'm going to talk about today. But we got to have more than two people in the chat.
Mine says 10.
I know it says 10 watching, but I only see two people in the chat.
Oh,
It's crazy. It's crazy.
well, it's still early.
Yeah,
We used to do it at like 7 o'clock on
I
Sunday.
know, right? Hi,
There's
Mike.
Mike.
How are you?
Got
Good
three
to
in
see
here.
you. Glad you could make it. You're gonna want to hang around for this. Hopefully everybody does. We're trying to pull some people in and wait for some people to come on in. In about 10 minutes, I have to take a real quick break because I have my laundry going and I didn't do the timing very well. so I have to go grab it out of the dryer and throw it on the bed real quick.
Yeah. Got Kansas gal in here. It's good to see you.
Hi, Kansas gal.
And you can give her a wrench if you want to share your channel. She does a lot of sky watching. It's got some pretty cool videos. She's been doing that for a long time.
Hey, hold on a second.
So Kansas gal, if you comment again, you'll have a wrench, and if you want to share your channel, then you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
I keep forgetting this is your backup channel, isn't it? There's people you don't have wrenched that you do on the other one.
Yeah. So yeah, people are gonna come on in and. But yeah, so you guys are gonna like what we're gonna talk about today. I'm just waiting for some more people to come on in. I think we have a couple good talking points today, and so hopefully it won't be a very boring show.
Well, everybody in here, once you bring up your point, the lights are going to go off. Everybody's going to be like, that's it. That's exactly what they're doing.
And and thank you, Kansas gal. Well, welcome to our chat. Good to see you.
How many zeros is that, Brian? Billions and billions and billions.
It's 10, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
You guys got that?
You guys got that? If you don't, I'll repeat it. I'm kidding.
That's how much money it's worth, isn't it? The asteroid's worth $10 quadrillion is what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Man, I'd like to have $1 quadrillion.
I wouldn't.
I was joking, but yeah.
Trillion, billions, and millions. Yeah. Well, we're still waiting. I know this is dead air, guys. But you guys will like the talking points once I just please hang in there with us. We're just waiting for some more people to pop in because yeah, I'd like to have a few more at least.
Yeah, this kind of segues into what my talking point was about those of us that are awake that do want to warn the newcomers to what the agenda is. We're blocked. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the door's closed and we're blocked. I mean, I'm blocked on all the alternative media channels. It's crazy.
Yeah, censorship is getting big. Oh yeah, you did send it to me. Hold on, let me see if I can send that.
Gypsies, good to see you.
Good to see you, Gypsies. Welcome.
It's always good to see her.
Yeah. So, still waiting. We're just waiting for a few people to come on in. I want a little bit more. We'll probably wait another. What time is it? 5 minutes. What we'll probably do is we'll wait. After I go run and grab my laundry real quick, it'll take me about maybe 5 minutes. So Chuck will take over. Chuck and Brian and Dub can start talking.
Okay.
You have anything to say, Mr. Wilkinson?
Hello, people. Good to see you here. That's about it for now.
Well, I know, but you need to speak up. Yeah. Speak up.
Just tell us to shut up, man. I'll listen.
I know,
we'll
right?
shut up.
That's what I say. But yeah, so we're gonna just wait until about 15 after. Then we're gonna get started with the show. So don't go away.
Matt Davis, good to see you.
I'm gonna give you some. Hopefully, I can give you some insight on what I'm seeing, kind of what I'm looking at, and so I do have a few things tabbed up. Nothing spectacular, but I think you guys are gonna like the like what not like, but it's not a really good subject, but it's a very important subject. As you all know, The Sound of Freedom is a movie they just released on the 4th of July. And I'm going to tell you what their agenda is with this one.
Did you get the Trump promoting it, telling everybody to watch it too? Do you got that one tabbed up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Gypsy's blocked, meaning that I see my comment, you know, but nobody else does. It's like I can put a comment, any comment on the, and there will be thousands of other people's that comment and they'll be getting likes, but it's like it's in the cyber void or whatever you call it.
Right. So it's 2:11. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run off real quick. I'm going to go ahead and mute. I will be back. You guys talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay, is Dub mute? Dub's not muted though, right?
Well, no, it's one microphone.
Yeah, I'll be muted.
Well,
but
he's
that's okay.
he's already muted anyway. I've got a got a scarf around his mouth. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He's got duct tape over his mouth.
Right.
He's been censored. I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Yeah.
All right.
If anybody, go ahead. We got it.
All right. I'll be back.
If anybody in the chat wants to pull up, if you have any reaction videos to, have you seen the trailer, Brian?
No.
It's about the child trafficking.
What
And
was the movie called again?
it's called Sound of Freedom.
All right.
And it's supposedly exposing child trafficking. And obviously, all the patriots. I'm not gonna say that.
Okay.
I'm not. All the patriots are promoting it. I'm not, I promise. But Trump did a message, and it's like they want everybody to see it. Actually, my wife wanted me to go to the movies and see it. I haven't seen a movie since when Jurassic Park came out on the movie theater. YouTube sucks, so does Facebook, Twitter, and all that. Yep. That's all we got. Seems like it.
Yeah, I went
BitChute.
on Facebook and typed in Bible, and you'd be surprised how many Masonic Bibles and Eastern Star Bibles and different Bibles are out there.
I can imagine.
Someone with a freaking straight up, upside down pentagram star or whatever, the Baphomet, all that, right on the front of it. Like, Holy Bible with that right underneath the Holy Bible words.
And how'd you search that? Did you just search the word Bible?
Yep, just Bible. And all kinds of crap's going to pop up. I even pulled up one, like I was talking to you the other day, about how it's procreation versus pleasure. One of the things that popped up was actually called a position sex Bible. And I was just like, are you kidding me?
A sex Bible? Wow.
Yeah. I clicked on it just to have it into the link to, I'll make a little video about it probably. Just to show all the pictures too. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Nana Candy, good to see you in here. But Michelle, she'll tell, she was at, I think she was with Dub. She was at an estate sale where, when people pass, they get rid of the estate.
That's
she
what
found
this stuff is too, I think. You know what I mean?
You find some good stuff. She found a Masonic Bible. One of, and I wish she had got it. She really regrets not buying it. But from what I hear, the 33rd degrees, their Bible, I think has like 33 more pages in it. Imagine that. But I think they're in the beginning. But I've never actually looked through one for myself, so that's just what I heard.
All right.
They do have Brian, have you ever heard they have a Queen James Bible?
No, I never heard
Look
that.
it up. Look it up, man. I'm not kidding. They take out all the references to homosexuality and stuff like that. James Wiley, good to see you in here.
Okay, I'm back.
Awesome.
All right.
James, we got James Wiley in here. I haven't seen him before. He needs
Hi,
a wrench.
Nana. How are you? Hi, James. Do this.
I was telling him about the Masonic Bible you saw at the
I
estate sale.
know. I should have
Yeah.
got it. I don't know why. I don't know if what it was why I didn't get it. I didn't. But I kind of regretted it. But
It might be a good thing. You never know.
Hi, Mongo.
Mongo, it's good to see you in here.
Yeah, nothing about the symbols on these Bibles entices me to even look at them. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. That's just what I say. Some of these things, like one of them, let me see, where's that one at? It says right on it, like
It's all about
32nd degree or something like that, right on it.
Well, I want to welcome everybody here. We finally have some good talking points. Last week was a little bit shaky, and something I rolled up on early this morning, that I wanted to cover and give you guys my take on this and show you what's coming down the pike. I guess. I mean, I think we all know kind of pretty much what's going on. We're all pretty much like-minded individuals, but so I'm going to present what I'm seeing right now. As you guys know, The Sound of Freedom is a movie that was released on July 4th. It's about child trafficking. And I'm going to give you my take on it, but if you guys have not heard about it or anything, it is kind of rolling around in the mainstream, not the mainstream, but the mainstream too, but on social media. So I'm trying to think. I guess I'm going to go ahead and present the trailer first.
Let's do it.
Let me go back here. Make sure I got full screen. There we go. So this is the trailer on it. And here we go.
How many pedophiles you got?
288.
How many kids you found?
It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen. It has already passed the illegal arms trade, and soon it's going to pass the drug trade. Because you can sell a bag of cocaine one time to a child 5 to 10 times a day. God's children are not for sale.
How long have you been doing this?
12 years now.
How many pedophiles you got?
288.
How many kids you found?
Timoteo, por rescatar niños, ¿verdad? ¿Puedes ayudarme a encontrar a mi hermana?
Te lo prometo.
For Homeland Security, you know we can't go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia.
Which means she'll disappear for good. Imagine walking into a room right now, seeing an empty bed. What we do?
You quit your job and you go and rescue those kids.
So at this moment, she could be a block down the road, or she could be at Moscow, Bangkok, LA. She's a major operator.
It's all rebel territory. No one goes in. Not the army, not the police, not us.
What if this was your daughter?
There's no Marine unit coming.
You're on your own. This job tears you to pieces. And this is my one chance to put those pieces back together.
When God tells you what to do, you cannot hesitate.
estimated 2 million children are trafficked every year, and we can help them. Sound of Freedom is based on a true story about real-life heroes saving kids from the dark world of child trafficking. We know this is heartbreaking and it hurts to look at. But the first step in helping these children is hearing their story. Not enough people know this problem exists, and even fewer people are willing to do anything about it. Our goal is to inspire 2 million people to attend the film's opening weekend, to represent the 2 million trafficked children around the world. To spread the word, Angel Studios set up a Pay It Forward program where you can pay for someone else's ticket who might not otherwise see it. The ticket price is stopping you from attending. Claim your free ticket at angel.com/freedom. Sound of Freedom opens the week of July 4th. Every parent, every adult, and every teenager in America should be there to see it. If millions of us come together today to see this film, we could propel the movement to help save millions of children around the world. And you can send the message that God's children are no longer for sale.
That's a catch-22.
Yes.
That ties into that Masonic chip stuff. Is that what you're going to talk about?
Well, let me tell you. For one, okay, so they're gonna this, of course, they say it's a true story. I call bullshit. Okay? They're not gonna put anything true in a film. They're just not. You know, I don't know that for sure, but that's what I'm calling it as. For two, it right there is a money laundering machine right there. Right there. You know, you
Well,
can.
I'm sure it is based on a true story, but not the true story they're talking about.
Well,
is that what you're saying?
Well, what I'm saying is, put it this way. This is all based on the border, trafficking.
Oh yeah. Yep.
They're not. They are not. Okay, 100%. The one thing that I'm gonna point out a few things. The one thing is what about all the trafficking kids in our country, in our corporation?
Exactly.
Okay, so they're focusing on the kids that are being pulled over the border. This does not cover. This does not cover our children. Anybody coming over the border now, that's their focus right here on this thing. So that right there is a lie, because just think about that. What about our children? What about our living conditions? What about our homeless? What about they're flooding the borders, they're letting everybody in, they're bringing them in. We all know it's we all can see the writing on the wall, but that's one point that I wanted to point out about this movie. Of course, they put angel.com.
I've seen that.
God's children are no longer, see, they're pulling on the heartstrings. Okay. They're using God in a false tense, of course. This is they're this guy was a hero. Of course we should have no idols. Okay. Just everything about this stinks. And I'm going to tell you why.
Can I add to your point too before you go to the next point?
Yeah.
You mentioned that they're not talking about our children. They're talking about rescuing these children over there, when our whole country is promoting castrating your children before they hit puberty.
Right.
What's worse than that?
Right. Well, people have no idea how thick it is of our own child trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
How many kids go missing daily in this country?
It's probably the three-letter alphabet organization that we have.
You think?
Oh yeah.
I wanted to say hello to Sunflower. Good to see you.
Sunflower needs a wrench.
Yeah, doing it right now. Um, let's see. Anybody else that popped in? But anyway,
Scrolling up.
so this movie is supposed to get a big reaction. Okay?
Real big.
Yeah. And it's getting one. It's bigger than big, okay? But I'm also going to show you this. All right? Let's see here. The biggest promoter of this movie is this idol, this one that people idolize, the Patriots, all the people that idolize this man. I want to play this.
Screening at Bedminster of the important new film, Sound of Freedom, about the power of faith in overcoming evil, and in particular, the evil of child trafficking. Big problem. We had it down to the lowest number in many years just 4 years ago, and now it's gone through the roof. Even though the fake news media has tried to ignore it, Sound of Freedom has been a national sensation and a colossal success at the box office, really big numbers. Everyone should see it. This is a very important film and very important movie, and it's a very important documentary all wrapped up in one. It's really about an issue that has to be discussed. Under my leadership, we did more than any administration in history to combat human trafficking and to end modern day slavery. In one of my first acts in office, I signed an executive order targeting transnational criminal organizations that traffic and exploit innocent people. I signed the Frederick Douglass Trafficking Victims Prevention and Protection Reauthorization Act, authorizing $430 million to fight sex and labor trafficking. I signed legislation to crack down on foreign countries who are not meeting standards for eliminating trafficking, of which there are many. I also signed into law the Abolish Human Trafficking Act, which strengthened programs supporting survivors and provided more resources for ending modern slavery. We do have modern slavery, if you can believe it.
You think? You think?
You think?
You think we have modern slavery? Yeah. Sure, we do. All of us are enslaved. But anyway, I digress.
Additionally, I created the first ever White House position focused solely on combating human trafficking. And perhaps most importantly, we created the most secure border in U.S. history by far, dealing a major blow to the cartels and traffickers. We built hundreds of miles of wall. We renovated hundreds of miles of wall. We never had anything like it. And then I got Mexico free of charge to give us 28,000 soldiers to protect us from people coming into our country illegally. When I am back in the White House, I will immediately end the Biden border nightmare that traffickers are using to exploit vulnerable women and children. We will fully secure the border. I will wage war on the cartels just as I destroyed the ISIS caliphate, 100% gone, 100% destroyed. They'll come back now because we have a weak administration. I will use Title 42 to end the child trafficking crisis by returning all trafficked children to their families in their home countries and without delay. And I will urge Congress to ensure that anyone caught trafficking children across our border receives the death penalty immediately. And that includes also for women, because women, as you know, are number one in trafficking. Children are actually number two. I want to thank Eduardo, Jim, Tim Ballard, and everyone else.
Okay, I've had enough of him. So did he sound like he was going to help America? Was that about America, or was it about, and I mean America, was that about America, this corporation that we live in, or was it about the border crisis? Let me tell you, he's a walking advertisement. He's always been a walking advertisement dude. And he has a lot of followers.
Oh yeah, whole lot.
And still to this day, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh!" I mean, if you guys even try to look into that, it's crazy. So not only is he advertising this movie, go see it. You have to go see it. You have to see it. Remember, he was the godfather of Warp Speed.
Oh yeah.
That
Remember,
killed.
you can buy tickets for someone who can't afford to go see it too.
Right.
That's how important it is.
So I'm still modding. I want to say hello to everybody that's popping in. Julie,
Yeah, I was just noticing that.
Miss Jen, Sunflower, Cindy. Welcome, people. This is a very important live. I'm really glad that you guys are here. Thank you, and you guys are modded. The ones that weren't modded when they first came in are modded now. So he's a walking advertisement because he's still got so much support. He can reach so many people that are they idolize him. Okay?
He's the chosen one.
They idolize him before our Lord Jesus Christ. And when you do that, you're lost. And I used to be lost. I really did. He kind of tricked me too, but that was before my eyes were opened.
Maybe you can play that video at the end of the show if we have time.
I don't think so. But anyway,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Maybe that'll be for another day. That's a 30-minute video. But anyway, he's talking about, I went to a Trump rally and I recorded it. I sent it to him to show how silly
She was Trump's biggest cheerleader I've ever seen.
I was. Oh. But
That
now
was priceless,
I know.
though.
But now I know my eyes have been opened. But so let me get back. So he's a walking advertisement. He's got a lot of followers. We don't know if he's going to be selected again. Who knows? But he can reach a lot of people. So here I am looking at this and listening to some other channels. And I'm going, For one, the reaction of this. People are like, "Oh my gosh, this is so horrible." I have not seen the movie.
That's what I want to see. Yeah.
I have not seen the movie. I have heard it's not very good from a few different people or comments that I've seen. But it reaches. I mean, look how God's children are not. Is there anybody in Hollywood that is about God? No.
Not our God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all of this is false, but they have an agenda. I see the agenda going on here. They want people's reaction.
It's all about playing on the heartstrings. The children. Yeah.
The children, and they're coming for our children first. They're doing it in the schools. They're
getting smarter about how they do it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the thing.
They've always came after everybody in the educational system, but they did it. They did it through the vaccines. They're doing it through, I'm just saying, the jabs. Our schools, and there's an agenda here. They're pushing it. They're making it happen. The chipping is coming along. They're coming for our children first. So now they're going to scare the hell out of everybody that has children. And who better to reach those people than the conservative platform, the patriot.
They want people afraid that it's going to happen to their children. That's the
Yeah.
key. That's the key to it right there. That this
So
could happen to anybody.
so now they've got to chip our children to keep them safe.
Hmm.
To keep them safe.
Brian, that's what I was going to tell you, man. That's what got me. I didn't even think of that aspect of it until Michelle brought that up. And these people are going to be thinking that's a good thing.
I seen that stuff years ago, the Masonic chip thing. It's been around for a while now. But yep, it was something they would do to their children, supposedly, just to make sure that their kids didn't.
Well, if you're gonna mask your children, and you're gonna get your children vaccinated, I mean, give them 73 vaccinations going through school, and then
That's
you're
crazy.
gonna 73. I think that's the total vaccination count to get your children through school. That's what their record has to say. I saw a little baby the other day. They gave him five vaccinations, like at 2 months old.
Wow.
5 all at once.
Remember growing up? I mean, how many kids did you see that had autism? It was like you never saw it. Now it's 1 out of every 8 children have it.
So through the pandemic, they went that way. Now they're going through the I can't even say it. The transgender how do you say it?
Transformers.
Transformers.
No. Hold on, I'm looking. The friendly outcast.
Yeah, Nana, it started with our animals. I remember there were people back then saying, "Oh, this is just the beginning. It's going to be our animals, and then it's going to be our children." These people were saying this 60 years ago.
Yeah. So yeah, but now it's here. It's here. It's right freaking here. Okay? Everything that we know, we see coming, it's here. They just went FedNow just went live on Thursday. FedNow.org with their digital BS.
So is it all the banks, or is it?
They have several banks on board right now. Of course, Chase Bank, number
Right.
1, is on board. Several banks are on board right now. What is it? Oh my gosh, several banks.
Most of the larger
But they
ones.
just launched that on Thursday. So they want people to get the reaction that they need to be scared. Let's do the fear porn. Let's give them fear, and they are gonna be in line shipping their children. That's the whole agenda on this. You got the walking advertisement man, the orange ugly man, and so I wanted to show you. I as I was on YouTube today, I had a recommendation of a person I don't even know. I'm not recommending their channel. I don't even know who they are. They came up on my recommendations, and I started listening to it. And this is the reaction that this chick had to this movie. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and play that.
I went and saw The Sound of Freedom.
My pimple and nose ring.
Main character played by Jim.
Say that again.
I said my pimple and nose ring.
Mm.
We have to play with those real quick for whatever reason.
Okay.
How do you say it? Kazaviel? I'm probably saying it wrong. The guy who played Jesus in Passion of Christ played the main character in Sound of Freedom. And I went to go see it by myself, which I've never been to the movie theaters by myself since I've been alive. And this may not have been the best one to see alone, but I did it. One word just comes to mind is gripping. It's just so gripping. Like edge of your seat, not breathe, don't talk, kind of silence. It was like a handful of people in the theater. When right here in Bel Air we go. And it's dark. But it's so raw. And here's the thing, it's so real. It's so real. And it was very triggering to watch. It was triggering for a number of different reasons. But it's not just a movie, you guys. It's so real. And it really makes you think, how can I ever look at a child the same? How can I ever look at my children the same after watching that movie? From 13 down to 5. How can I? Like, we live in our little box of our blue skies, green grass, and wow.
I don't know. I don't see our skies as being blue, but just saying.
Can I say something before you start back?
Yeah.
What way to bring people together, whether you're Democrat, Republican, black, or white, than the children? You know, that's just they want to bring everybody together for the children.
Right.
You see?
Our shirt has like the Google sign in it. If you see that word, that 666 hidden right in it type stuff.
Yep, I see that.
A heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This video, she has 1.8 subscribers, so 1,008, and this has 3,500 comments.
Let me say something else real quick, just my vision. LL33, she kept saying it was gripping. Gripping means 96 in English ordinal, and 96 also means Freemason. So those are just things just right off bang, bang, bong, and she's a light member. She's a member of the light, you know what I mean? But anyway.
That's why I have you on here, Brian, to point out that kind of stuff. Yeah, I did look at her shirt. She kind of goes on and on, but this had 204K views. Okay, this was 12 days ago. She only has 1,000, not even 2,000 subs. Okay, this went viral. Yeah.
A video doesn't go viral unless they want it to. You know what I mean?
There you go. 3,500 comments, 204K views on. She doesn't even have 2,000 subs. So I just wanted to point that out too.
I don't know how you can go watch a movie either and then say, I don't know how I'm going to look at my kids the same ever again. I don't care what movie I watch. My kids are always going to be the same to me. I don't think that anybody's movie is going to make me look at my kids and go, oh my God, my kids.
Exactly.
No, I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Brian, it probably does with the normies, the ones that are in the Matrix programmed by it, you know.
Maybe.
That's where entertainment
Entertainment
does so.
I forgot. There's some people that do get entertained by that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And people are getting entertained by this movie. Very much so. Well, let's listen to her a little while longer. I don't know if I can go 10 minutes, but anyway.
All right.
World, there's children fighting for their lives. Like fighting for their lives. Physically and mentally. Just trying to make it another day and get out the hands of a pedophile. Whew, the movie was- mm. There's a part in the movie where they had to make this sound when they became free, and it was so beautiful. Like,
We're not free. Nobody's free. Um, even on the platform. Okay, so from what I've understood is that they say they're calling this a true story. The guy that the story is about is supposedly has been deplatformed on every platform. Okay, but he's all over the social media in big platforms. He's being exposed all over. So to me, he's not deplatformed. Um, there's a lot of different points I want to still make, but anyway, here, let's listen to this dumb girl.
it was so beautiful. They made it. It was like, and that's like what they would sound as freedom.
And she's talking about foreign children, and I'm all children of this world are important. Okay, it's every child. You know, I don't want anybody to misunderstand what I'm trying to put out there. Yes, I care. It's they're coming for our children. The children are the ones that are I'm very supportive. This movie I'm not supportive of because there's an agenda behind it. They are pushing it, they're advertising it, they want everybody to see it. They're they want they're going to launder so much money out of this. And then,
Hey, I've been just looking at Sound of Freedom reactions, and there's thousands of videos of just reactions to the movie.
oh, I'm sure there is. Okay, so I didn't do that much research. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just saying this is something I came up on real quick. So
Maybe we should tag everything Sound of Freedom on all of our videos, and then maybe that'll
Yep,
lead some
there you go.
yeah, maybe they will. No, they probably won't. They know who we are. They definitely know who we are.
Our video, your live stream, is the third search result. I typed in Sound of Freedom reaction, and your live stream is the third result, which it's probably just me. But if anybody else can type that in the search bar and see if the live stream comes up as the third result.
Yeah,
Pretty
I would be very
interesting.
curious. I'd be very curious to see if that.
Yeah, just type in Sound of Freedom reaction, and on my search result, we're the third one.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I've gotten out of all of this. It weighed heavy on my heart. Kind of some lights came on. They're already pushing the agenda to chip our kids. We know that they're coming after our kids. It's mind-boggling to me that we're seeing all of this unfold in front of our eyes, and parents are just running for this.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they can chip the kids, get them all taken care of, then how easy is it going to be to chip the parents?
Well, first of all, we know that they don't care about the children. Think about it.
No,
they do not care. So that makes you got to think. And they got this certain part of the government, like the right wing, with that Jim Caviezel. These are supposedly the conservatives that are against the wokeism and all that. And if you notice, any video you pull up is going to show the left the left, the Democrats are bashing the movie. They're telling people not to go see it. And the more you bash something and tell people not to watch it, the more people are going to want to watch it. You know what I mean? So it's just a big distraction.
People are saying that yes, some said it was a result. Some are saying it was the third. Thank you guys for searching.
That's crazy.
That's totally way cool. Um,
Mike said everything that's trending is suspect. And he deleted it. We hear you though. That's true though. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
I looked it up on another one where I'm not logged in. I don't log into, and it doesn't show up at all.
Really?
And the third result is actually Mel Gibson. Hollywood elites are trying to destroy this movie. Watch this, Sound of Freedom. We must fight back. It's a picture of Mel Gibson on a thumbnail saying I'm being interviewed or whatever on how.
You ought to play. Yeah, you ought to play that in a little while. I was wondering about that one, what he would say. But Brian, you're right, man. That if you're not on the live stream and you search, I mean, that the artificial intelligence, they're getting crafty. I mean, it's getting smart.
Yeah, it's like when you were saying earlier, when you're logged in, you can see your comments, but when you're in a different thing, you don't see those comments. Or when you're in someone else's account, nope.
You don't, yep.
Yeah. So, they not only do they want people to donate money for the cause, I mean, they're just going to keep, they're just going to keep doing it and doing it. The best way what we can do is just protect our children ourselves. You know what I mean? That's all we can do.
Yep.
We're on our own.
Hey, Kansas gal had a good point. She says the movie picks up where Q left off. Think about it, where that was all heading. I mean, that's something definitely to look into. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, except there's been no arrest yet.
Well, no. That they supposedly are, and they're putting lookalikes in their place. Brian, you haven't heard that?
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. How dare me?
I wanted to say, welcome. All the world is a stage. Captain, welcome, Captain. Flat for life. Welcome, guys. I'm so glad everybody's here. Really appreciate you guys all popping in. I really think this is a really good subject. Things are getting really crazy. Very, very crazy, very close. I feel it in my heart. Man, things that you would never ever think you would see, but we weren't totally awake back in the day, so we couldn't see it. This has been going on forever. Hi, doctor. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in such a long time. So glad that you can make it. So many things that shit's been going on for a long time, but now it's coming to a head.
Stupid brought up a good point. If it was the third recommendation, we would have thousands of views.
Right.
Especially on that one.
Right.
And another angle real quick is the movie, there's a thing going on where the people at the movie theaters are watching it, the fire alarm and the emergency evacuation. And actually my daughter and her boyfriend went to go see a movie the other day, and it was right before the supposedly Sound of Freedom movie came on, and 30 minutes before the movie ended, the fire alarm went, and they made everybody evacuate the movie theater. And you can look on YouTube, and there's a bunch of other instances where what they're saying is that people that hate it, like the liberals, are pulling the fire alarm because they don't want people to watch it. I mean, it's just the craziest thing I've ever heard. There's got to be some angle that, you know what I mean? There's something to that. Maybe if it's the next,
Well, it's just the more legitimate
event.
shit of it. Just like I said, the Mel Gibson interview. Oh, they're trying to delete this. They want to get rid of it. Hollywood elites are trying to get rid of it. Sure they are. They printed it, idiot. They produced it, idiot. Yeah. But anyway.
But Mel Gibson plays the good guy. You know how he exposed Hollywood and did that movie? What was that movie he did? Conspiracy Theory, where he tells all their secrets and stuff. It's just
it's just like
controlled.
Roseanne Barr to
Yep.
they're all they're the truthers. They're the big truthers out there
Well,
that are
Mel
trying to
Gibson.
expose.
Think about his characters in his movies too. That's the hearts of the people too. He's always been a
Yeah,
hero that's fought and stood up for
Braveheart,
righteous.
very good
Think of
point,
his
Brian.
the
Lethal
Patriot.
Weapon. Lethal
Yeah, he was
Weapon
the
stuff.
Patriot too. Yeah.
He was
Yep.
badass in Lethal Weapon too, in that
Yep.
sense. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was the start of him.
He's a hero, and yeah, he's the hero.
Yeah. Welcome, a dog named Boo. Good to see you. Glad that you could make it. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, real quick, Sunflower just said Hollywood exposing Hollywood. Give me a break. Yeah, it says if the kingdom exposed the kingdom, you know what I mean? If the devil exposed the devil, how would the kingdom stand? You know, I know there's scripture on that.
Yeah, a kingdom divided against itself cannot
Yeah,
stand. Yep.
yep,
There you
something
go.
like that.
Good point.
Right. So that kind of was my talking point that I wanted to kind of show you guys that this movie is exposing, not really exposing anything, something. It's, whenever they make a movie of a true story, I'm sorry, I have a hard time believing that it was a true story.
I mean, they already had this movie a bunch of times with Liam Neeson, right? With his daughter or something like that.
Well,
Taken,
this was supposed
in a sense.
this movie was made like 5 years ago.
But I'm just saying the abduction and trafficking, anyways, it's already been in movies. You know, it's nothing new. Next, we'll have Neil Leeson or whatever Liam Neeson telling us, "Hey, we gotta keep this movie alive. Hollywood elites are trying to delete it."
Right.
You know,
Can I read something real quick that Brian was talking about? This is really, I think this is a good point you brought up. It's in Mark chapter 3, verse 23, 24, and 25. It's real short, but it says, "And he called them unto him and said unto them, How can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. Also, if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand." You see what I mean? So that
Yep.
was a really good point.
No, that's just right through the brain. You know what I mean? Like something's like, "Hey,
hmm
here you go. Take
Yep.
this one and throw it." You know what I mean? I don't know. That's where I say the Holy Spirit, man, it's real. So
Yeah.
people want to be denying
Totally.
stuff and not living in truth.
Very real.
The word will be what judges them. Ultimately the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, what I do know is that everybody's tied in. Of course, we know Hollywood's tied in with the political is tied in with the Hollywood. Um, we know who the JOOs are, who owns, all of it. So, yeah.
It's like the WWE, 33, the two W's,
Yeah.
and they have the bad characters, the good characters. The bad will end up becoming good, the good become bad. They just keep playing them against each other, but behind closed doors, they're all out partying with each other.
Right. I'm modding, so just so you guys know.
Not
Hi,
away.
Mark. Hi, Mark. How are you? Good to see you. But yeah. So I just wanted to throw all that you guys' way because the chipping process is moving. The Fed now has been launched on Thursday. Things are, man, things are getting real. Real.
I got a really good point about you talking about they're going to make people want to chip their children. With all these incidents in these movie theaters, people aren't going to be pushed over the edge to doing it unless there's a mass event. Let's just say a bunch of kids in a movie theater get kidnapped, and that plays on the news. They got to push them into more fear. That people aren't going to chip their kids unless they're truly in fear. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would definitely keep my eyes open for something like that. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, I just think, I don't know. Things are getting very real. Very real. Hi, on the level. Good to see you. Glad you could make it.
Yeah, good to see everyone. Definitely.
Yeah,
We
man.
got a good crowd.
Yeah, everybody's pouring in. I'm so very thankful that you guys are here hanging out with us today. I very much appreciate it. Um, so I think that was my presentation, what I kind of saw. And, what better way than to put the idol man, the man that you idolize, Mr. Uh, Orange Man himself.
Orange man. The ugly orange man.
Yeah, very ugly. Very ugly in every which way. But
But he's really rich.
yeah, sure. Um, what better way to have him be a walking advertisement of this movie? Yeah. So
Do you want to see what Mel has to say real quick?
Yeah, let's do it. Drop it. Hi, Danny.
Brian, can you drop it in the comments, or I'll pull it up if you want me to. Did you have that one?
If you have something in particular, mine was just whatever was on the search result, and it was by a guy named Lou Valentino, and he has the thumbnail of interviewing of Mel Gibson.
How about Mel Gibson sends terrifying warning to fans about the sound of freedom?
There you go.
Well, I'm sending it. Let me copy. If it's terrifying, then
Yeah,
must be real.
of course. But
right.
they have to throw in that word, terrifying. Of course, they got to put more fear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna echo here in a minute, so please, I apologize. There we go. Let me stop that.
Mel was connected with Jim Caviezel with the Passion of the Christ. See the connection there?
Yeah.
And now he's coming, making it. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, I see a thing here just down real quick in the results. The Rock slams Mel Gibson for
I seen
leaking.
that one too.
It's just like, give me a
break. We'll have to play that
here.
one too. Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Let's see here.
Took me and my daughters to go watch The Sound of Freedom today, and about an hour and 20 minutes into the movie, we get a random emergency evacuation.
Fire alarm goes off and people still watch the movie. They can't stop the
obstacles thrown in the way. There's a lot of what would you call it, poltergeist act.
What is Caviezel-led action drama Sound of Freedom exactly? A solid, independent action film which has made a surprising amount of money since its release on July 4th, a moving true story about a real American hero, a dangerous gateway into misinformation and conspiracy, a gamble that's paid off beyond anyone's wildest expectations. Well, Hollywood great Mel Gibson got all the answers.
This growing international crime network that the world has ever seen.
Sound of Freedom is Mel Gibson's next movie title. Since its much anticipated release, the movie had been surrounded by a controversy that immediately turned it into a box office hit. Meanwhile, fans have been left in a frenzy to know what the controversy is and why Mel Gibson's movie is in the controversy. In this video, Gibson is urging people to watch the movie, claiming that the biggest problem in the world today is child trafficking. Accompanying the video is a tweet that reads, "New. Mel Gibson is promoting Sound of Freedom," which is set to be released tomorrow, July 4th, exposing the reality of child sex trafficking. The most disturbing problem in our world today is human trafficking, particularly the trafficking of children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness. Go see The Sound of Freedom. If only more Hollywood celebrities cared to use their platform for good. In the wake of the film's release, a 1998 interview featuring the actor discussing his shock at what Hollywood is like has gone viral. It seems that sentiment and knowledge of the Hollywood industry's evil is what has made Mel Gibson throw his support behind this movie. The new movie has had a tumultuous release, with moviegoers sharing their alleged experiences online of people being forced from their seats for various reasons and theaters having the air conditioning turned off. The film is based on Tim Ballard's life as he set out to fight child sex trafficking across the world. In the interview, Gibson does not explicitly mention anything that directly links to the themes of Sound of Freedom, but movie producer and slightly offensive podcast host Elijah Schaffer connected the alleged dots between the two with a tweet he shared with his fans. Shocking, he begins before explaining what the attached video is. Mel Gibson, Sound of Freedom is the real deal. Warned about the evils of Hollywood in 1998, predicted how they'd turn on him, alludes to actors being actual demons. He knows something very dark and wants to expose it. The seriousness in his voice is chilling, Schaffer wrote. Schaffer put Sound of Freedom in brackets after Gibson's name in the tweets, which suggests he was involved in the film in some way. However, the actor has only been seen promoting the movie on social media, but otherwise he is not believed to be involved, or rather, he doesn't want the Hollywood elite to know he is involved. The video is an edited version of a 1998 episode of Hollywood Conversations, featuring British movie director Mike Figgis in conversation with Mel Gibson. Gibson begins by explaining how he had weird, paranoid suspicions about Hollywood when he arrived. You go away and you think, no, I was wrong. That's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagine that stuff. That couldn't be the reason why so and so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later down the track that you were exactly on track with a lot of this stuff, he said. That some of your worst nightmares were real at the time, and you think, Gibson then makes a shocked face.
That to that to that, and he started smiling. And I thought, oh no, Chris Walken is the Antichrist.
He also speaks at length about expecting to be betrayed in Hollywood, using a graphic metaphor about a knife going into his back. The actor then tells a story about a celebrity coming to meet him with a cold presence, who walked through a crowd of people towards him.
Okay, this is a bunch of mumbo jumbo.
Yep.
I'm done watching this.
Did any of you guys ever hear the phone call that supposedly they got from him where he was cussing his daughter out and warning them about the JOOs and just cussing? He went on a tirade. I mean, that guy's definitely got some issues.
Well, that was when he had a DUI, right? Is that?
Yeah, yep. That was the same time. Yep.
I don't believe any actor about anything. They've all sold their souls.
Yeah, well, like we were saying, the Satan's kingdom cannot be divided against itself. You know, I mean, they're all trying to divide us. You know, they're not divided.
And which people, there's some people that just do not understand how big, I mean, how big this is. Organ harvesting, you know, it's so big.
They want this stuff to get out here, but then they have their controlled opposition inserted in.
Right, they have their agenda. There's an agenda here. That's what it is.
And Marcy needs a wrench. Michelle, hey Marcy, good to see you.
Hey, you know, that's a parable as well there, Chuck, too. The one where how can Satan cast out Satan? Anyway.
Yeah.
He spoke to them in parables.
Mm-hmm.
Danny says, hi, Dub.
Danny, good to see you, Dan.
Always good to see you, man.
But yeah, so, you know, there's a big agenda for this. They're promoting it like crazy. It's all over social media. It's, you know, that's kind of what I wanted to point out.
Mike said Mel apologized for questioning the SOS. Of course he did. Yeah, they all do.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're fine. No, you're fine. So what was your talking point, Chuck? Did we want to move on, or we want to continue to talk about this?
Let's hear what The Rock says about Mel Gibson real quick, and then we'll move on.
Drop it.
You got it, Brian, or you may pull it up?
I'll grab it real quick. Let's see here. Where was it at? Can't miss The Rock's big head and face.
Thank you, Satan. Oh, he's the one that said he ate children or something, didn't he? In that commercial.
Yeah.
The video was called. Oh, there it is. It's got 1.2 million views already.
Of course.
One day.
Yay.
Very important to see what these two have to say to one another. Super important. Hold on. I'm bouncing around from internet to internet, if you will, to do all this.
I'm only showing one like on this show on mine. There's got to be more than one like on here.
I see 22.
See, I see 1 on mine. That's
Wow, that's
crazy.
Yeah, that should work.
There it is.
Yeah, if anybody wants to share the link to their channel.
Yeah,
We got a few people in the chat. Yeah.
Please do. I was just going to say that if you are going to drop a link relating to this issue, please put underneath the link what it's about, so that we kind of have a description of the link. That would be great. Let's see here.
I'm gonna refresh it. It still only
Yeah, I
says
see
1.
23 likes as well, just for the record. 25 actually. So.
God,
There we go.
Was in my mid-20s. Right. The first time I really came over. You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions.
I believe that they gave me a raw deal because this industry is a monster. It's the same monster that these Me Too was trying to tell you about. But
About what the hell was going on, because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand. First time I really came over here. You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on, because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
You're 7 years old and someone is stroking you. It feels good.
Our future is our children.
What?
The step in eradicating this crime is awareness.
Mel Gibson's shocking revelations in the movie Sound of Freedom and the alleged involvement of Hollywood's elite in some seriously scandalous activities have caused quite a stir in Tinseltown, and Hollywood elites have emerged and are furious about it today. Despite having a star-studded cast and crew, this is going to be a crazy trip, so fasten your seatbelts. The movie Sound of Freedom by Alejandro Gomes Monteverde has managed to stay unnoticed. The film explores the murky world of illegal human trafficking, revealing shocking methods used by the privileged to trap unwary individuals in their pernicious networks. You might be wondering why this important movie hasn't received more publicity, press coverage, or support. Why isn't a film starring a recognizable actor, a recognizable director, and promotional material from none other than Mel Gibson himself being shown in theaters? It would seem that the film's theme has stirred up some strong emotions. The film suggests that some of Hollywood's most influential figures may have engaged in these types of illicit activities, and one guy whose name has been linked to everything is none other than the renowned online rumors about Oprah Winfrey have been rife with derogatory remarks. Some online trolls assert that she has used her powerful talk show as a recruiting tool for potential victims, grooming them and promising them possibilities for achievement. What do you think about these allegations? Do you believe there could be any truth to them? Or do you think they're unfounded, however? It has been suggested that other notable figures such as Jamie Foxx and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson could also be involved in this scandal. People have also claimed that Oprah's silence on the matter is only making the situation worse and lowering her image as people speculate if she is guilty or not. The Rock Johnson, Dwayne, has not been spared. His global charity activity is allegedly a cover for his
Global.
scandalous activities, according to online accusers who claim that he utilizes these visits to find potential.
I don't think they're going to say anything. This is like Entertainment Tonight.
Yeah,
It's stupid.
It was the thumbnail that got you. It showed
Yeah, it was,
whatever.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
clickbait.
shut up. Nah, I'm gonna keep speaking. That's what it made it sound
It
like.
was celebrity news. Come on, guys.
Garbage. Sorry, I didn't pre-watch it.
No, it's okay. We were trying.
Just disregard that last 2 minutes.
So sorry we had to put you guys through all that. But yeah.
That right there is just a show of how much garbage they're trying to use it. That video with a thumbnail, 7 minutes ago, it's titled "The Rock Slams Mel Gibson for Leaking Oprah's Secrets in Sound of Freedom," and it makes it sound like The Rock and Mel are going to argue back and forth on Skype or
Yep,
something.
that's what I
stupid.
thought.
You know what I mean? And then nothing. But yeah,
Nothing.
1.2 million views in one day for all the idiots to go and be like, "Oh man, yeah, did you hear what The Rock said? Man, I hate The Rock. Did you hear what Mel said? Man, I hate Mel." You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's so dumb. So dumb. Yeah, I care nothing about any type of actor. When they're an actor, It's real. I'm just kidding.
It's real.
It's real. No,
But I digress.
but I digress. That's too funny.
Yeah. So what do you guys think in the chat about people wanting to chip their children so they won't get, smuggled and put into the child trafficking or whatever sex slave trafficking? I definitely think that there has to be an event, before it goes to the next level.
Well, look at it this way. Okay, so if you're going to chip your children, what do you have to do to keep track of that chip? See, people have to go beyond the chip itself. So is it going to be like, so they're chipped? You're going to have to run to the police and say, my child is missing. Can you track them? Or how's that going to work?
No, it would be just like a dog, because you can't track
Right.
those dogs and cats. When someone finds them, you're going to have the faith that whoever found them and has their little chip reader program that they're even going to
Bingo.
return your child. So
Exactly.
there we
You're going
go.
to have to go to the authorities. You're going to have to go to the authorities to get that done. Correct?
And think about it too. They will know where your child is at all times. And if they are the ones, think about it. If our government, the one that's trying to save us, is the one that's taking these children, you just gave the predator like behind the scenes access to where your child is at all times. They're going to know when your child is in the bathroom by themselves.
And who are they going to be in the bathroom with? A transgender.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying.
No, you're right. That's crazy.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, like, I went across the street the other day at work and I had to go use the restroom at this, a local gas station. And I walked in and there was this lady with, I don't know, maybe 7 kids. I mean, they were like all different ages. And as soon as I walked in the door, the little one, he was like maybe 2.5, 3 years old. He was, he had to use the restroom. And he was like, he looks at me and he was like, I gotta go. I go, you gotta go to the bathroom? And he's like, yeah. So I walked him to the bathroom and it's just a single bathroom. And he looks up at me, he goes, can you go in with me? And I'm like, no. I'm like, I will get your mother or your brothers or sisters, And so he ran in there, and then there was a couple of other of his brothers and sisters that came up, and I'm like, he's going to the restroom. He needs you to go in there, I mean, think about, his mother had no idea, she was, gallivanting around the little convenience store, with this, and it's a small gas station, but she had no idea at all. I could have went in there with him, I was like, no, I'm not going in, but you just go. I'll find a brother or sister or your mommy, people, they just don't think. It's crazy. Anyway.
Not much surprises me anymore, honestly. That's the sad part.
Yeah. Totally crazy. So, Chuck, what was your talking point today?
I just wanted to talk about censorship. How, can you pull up one of those videos about the Sound of Freedom movie and read through a little bit of the comment sections on them? And that's my whole point, because I went to one of those yesterday and tried to share a comment telling these people that, hey, this is, classic divide and conquer. And, they block us.
So you want me to pull up like the trailer?
Yeah, read through the comments on the trailer. Just a few, just kind of scan through and see what people are saying, and you know what I mean? But that's my whole, because the people are buying it, you know what I mean? They're all on board. And like you said, the videos of the reaction, is getting, they have a lot of black people to try to bring, everybody's going to be united under the children.
All right.
Hey, I wanted to say something real quick. I seen Angie's comment. I feel the same way, but I don't wish. I pray that it never happens, that I don't have to do something in those regards. I tell, Father all the time that I don't want to hurt no one down here. I get very
Yep.
frustrated and very angry, but I know that I don't want to hurt anybody. It's just the flesh freaking,
Right.
So I pray that I'm never even in one of those positions where I have to let
Yeah,
someone
we
have
all.
it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So this trailer has 4.9 million views, 76K likes, and 5,200 comments. So
This is not just a movie. It is just a movie. That's what Hollywood wants, for you to think that it's not just a movie.
right. This is a message that we all need to listen to. Protect our children. Well, good for you. But whose children? I'm just kidding. I'm just saying, because the message is for the border. But I mean, I have people come to me. They have all this help, but they have no social security number, and they want me to give them a government phone. I'm just like, okay. I've had people come up and say, "Been here 3 days, can't speak any English," but they go 3 days, new, and I'm just like, wow, barking up the wrong tree on my end.
Somebody else said too that, even bad publicity is good publicity. I mean, even the left, by hating on it so much, is still doing the same thing. They're promoting it.
But do really people know that this is reality of our world? Do they really know? I mean, they're going off a movie. That line gave me chills. God's children are not for sale. Boom.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom. None of these people worship our God. None of those people.
Well, Trump was promoting it, and wasn't Trump supposed to be the chosen one? Isn't he supposed to be draining the swamp? Why isn't Trump talking about the Clintons or the Bidens that he sniffs children's hair? All the little kids. We've all seen those clips where Biden is touching on all the children. I mean, if that doesn't prove that to these Trump idiots that he's one of them, I mean, it's like, give me a break.
But, when what's mind-boggling to me is that when he introduced warp speed that killed
Is that what did it for you?
um well, he was yeah, I don't know what it was.
She was
But
leaning that way already. And
I was
then
already
that kinda-
leaning
Yeah.
when he got the coronavirus, when I was like, oh, you got something that was fake. Okay, sure, pal. But anyway, what why these people, how fogged out, I mean, like, they're so foggy in their brains not to see or know. I mean, I know 4 people that have passed personally, and I'm just one person from that jab.
Mm-hmm.
4.
I know 2.
You know 2. I know 4, and there's 300 million and 28 or whatever in this country. So
let's don't talk about that too much, because that will
get
it axed.
It is what it is.
Okay.
That's why we're on my backup.
It's your channel.
I know I wanted to stay up, but I'm just saying. So why can't people see that? and they're just still going, Trump, 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 Trump. I'm like, I'm at a loss for words. And
I got a dumb question real quick
okay,
for everybody. How is supporting this movie and giving your money to the box office going to stop child trafficking?
it's not.
I got a dumb
mean-
answer. Blind faith.
Okay. There you go. But isn't that what they're promoting? He's saying, see this movie and we'll put an end to child trafficking. It's like, what? You watch a movie, what's that got to do with putting an end to something that's been going on since the beginning of time?
That is way beyond our comprehension. It's so under our noses.
Before Trump even came around, as far as presidency go, when I was in my 9/11 research, I had found him popping up and stuff, and commercials with him with his hotels standing outside of room 9 and 11. All this stuff, all connected to everything.
The sheep commercial.
If you've seen these commercials or something like that, where
Yeah,
he's
the sheep.
Yeah,
The sheep
standing in the
commercial, yeah.
hallways
Yep.
of his hotel or whatever it is. But it's not that; it's the things that he said too, and it's like he changes his mind, he changes things, tries to say stuff to like make it sound like he knows something or he's seen something, and then it never comes out like that. Does that make sense? I remember people trying to pretend that he was going to let us know about flat Earth too. You know what I mean? As he was coming into office and all that, and yeah, that never happened. Actually, I made a video about it, how they mock us with Eddie Bravo and all the guys on his show about how they talk about when Trump talks about the flat Earth, and it's all just for a mocking purpose. Nothing of anything, that's real. Just like all this Q crap and everything like that. It's all to mock you.
Right.
Nothing to do anything real. Just like there's
What
a
if-
movie out now, and me and Chuck were just saying the people were being arrested and replaced with stunt devils. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so this should be comment of the year. Watched this multiple times, cried each time. There's never been a movie that hits this deep. Literally choking from my tears.
Hold on. I got to go get a tissue. I'll be right back.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. Okay, that's comment of the year, and it only got 4 replies. It did get 100 likes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they want people to do. Watched this multiple. How many times do you need to watch it? Really? I'm telling you, this is ridiculous.
Well, what if like Flat for Life said, what if by them making all this money, they're using it to actually, for themselves, so they can
traffic more?
Exactly. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, it is so thick. People don't realize. Some people just don't realize how bad it is. It's so bad, and they are coming for our children. 100 full-fledged. We need to understand that. That's, it's just. Ugh.
We care. They say that we care so much about the children, but like I said earlier, they're letting them castrate themselves before they hit puberty, and they're letting
them get jabbed
exactly.
And they're like, oh my gosh, yes, we're saving them. You're being stupid. Now you're gonna go get them chipped.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Jabbed and chipped.
Gypsy said, remember, organ harvesting is only from a live donor. Organ harvesting from a live donor. I was thinking about they have a movie about that. I can't remember what it was exactly, but it was a brain fart. I waited too long to let Michelle finish out, and I lost my thought. It's all good. I'll think of it again in a second. But it ties to what Gypsy said with the harvesting is only from a live donor. Yeah. Anyway, I'll get back to it.
Yeah, these children, I mean, you can't. They need, they have to be alive, or they can't use their. And with technology, I mean, who knows? They could probably keep a heart beating, and for who knows how long.
It was a movie. I got it. It was a movie called The Island, I think. It had Scarlett Johansson in it, and it's where they're kept on an island and told that they survived some type of catastrophe and all the humans are dead and it's all diseased out in the world, and really all they are is clones of themselves to harvest the organ from them and get like their liver because they have liver disease or whatever, you know what I mean, or kidney problems. And the clones all get the idea they win the lottery to get off the island. And when you win the lottery, it's when you're going to be harvested. But anyway.
I remember that. That's probably a lot of truth in that, you know.
It's a pretty wild movie. They escape, find it all out, figure it all out.
Yeah, every comment is totally 100% with emotion. So this movie was amazing and real. Shout out to Tim Ballard for his bravery and care for the children that motivated him to do this operation to rescue them. And to the actors, they did an exceptional job. Academy Awards and Oscars needed. They are depending on these actors. Ugh.
And he still died, Mike.
I just want to throw up. I want to do that emoji with the throw up. I mean, you know, because it's green. That's it's not too graphic, but still.
You know what? If this video that we're doing were to get out to the what they call them normies, we would be hated. We would be stoned to death because we just have no heart. You know, we are just conspiracy theorists that don't have nothing better to do.
YouTube will just take it down like they always do and give me a strike because we cannot put out the truth. Thank you, YouTube. Yeah.
Remember Schwarzenegger, screw your freedom.
Screw your freedom.
Yeah.
I'm kind of reading this stuff.
These comments.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Terrifying.
Terrifying. There are still those who don't.
No, I think we've talked about it before that some of this stuff could just be junk because who's really coming in here and diving on everybody's video just to go make comments on everybody's, you know, like what's this video initially? Sound of Freedom trailer? Is that what this is we're watching?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This is the comments. Yeah. Beautiful movie. Beautiful. An even more beautiful and powerful message. Protect our children at all costs. Huh. Ship them.
What was that woman? Remember with the shooting that was going tragedy and horror? Remember? And could we no more prayers? Could we please do something about the assault, banning the assault rifles?
I don't want any more prayers.
That's Jan
Yeah,
Lambert, right?
That's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Stubbs'
I love
favorite.
that one.
Jan Lambert or whatever her name is. Yeah.
She was on The Price is Right too.
Christine Lanalan, whatever
Yeah,
her name is.
that's it.
Yeah.
Multiple places, right? Too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Many places.
Oh yeah, she's been seen in a lot of
I know these people would survive 3 events. I'm like, come on, really?
She was George Floyd's second grade teacher.
Really?
No,
Yes.
she was.
Yep.
Are you serious?
I'm gonna pull her up
Yeah.
right now. Yes, I will.
She was his second grade teacher, and
this
she
is her.
escaped like 3 other events.
And was her son at a gay club, right? Or wrong?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah.
It's all the things are hit with her. All of them.
Her son that was killed at Orlando was in the gay club,
Pulse.
and her son that was killed in Borderline, the post shooting.
There she is.
Yep,
That's her.
that's her.
Ms. Sexton, thank you so much for being here. You hung on to a drawing that George Floyd, who back then you called Perry, made along with an essay for 38 years,
She looks
and you
a lot
have
older
it
there.
today with you. Can you show us this?
They make
They-
them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got the same nose, same eyes. She's got the same. Yeah, believe us.
Was
We
this
have.
the one with the glasses that were like tinted, right? Is that what we're trying
Yeah,
to
yeah.
She always has glasses. That's a one thing that gives her away. She's always wearing
Always.
glasses, except for when the garlic festival or what when she was big and fat.
No, she still had glasses then, didn't she?
No, there was one that she didn't.
When she was Miss Opanus, and her son that was killed was Telopanus. That was his name. Was Telopanus.
Here's his drawing.
That's her.
And tell us about this. What is this drawing, and what was your assignment?
Well, one of my favorite memories of Perry involves his report for Black History Month. Each day in the month of February.
Oh, come on. Like she kept this like 20 years later, man. Come on.
38 years.
Yeah, that's
38 years because of
That's
Black
a
History
second
Month.
grade teacher. Yes, she did keep it. Look, he's right there.
And she got all of his classmates too. They're in the other room. They just didn't become friends.
But she kept this one. The other one she threw away.
Yeah.
Come on now.
American. And as a culmination to that study, I posed the question to my students, how will you impact the future? What will you do to make a difference? So in response, each student wrote a story or an essay called Future Famous Americans and described their aspirations.
Famous
George
Freemason
Floyd, again,
Americans.
who you at that time and his family called Perry, said was, when I grow up, I want to be a Supreme Court judge. When people say,
There you
Your
go.
Honor, he did rob the bank, I will say, be seated. And if he doesn't, I will
And I take fentanyl.
tell the guard to take him out. Then I will beat my hammer on the desk. Then everybody will be quiet. Why did this particular drawing and his essay stick with you for so long that you wanted to hang on to it?
Well, each year my class would do 2 or 3 big major projects. And I always kept one of those projects. And often it was this Black History project because I always asked the boys and girls what they wanted to be when they grew up. This was often the project I kept. So I don't only have Perry's work. I taught at Douglas for 24 years. And so I have hundreds of papers
Wow.
like this.
Seeing that this second grader, at 8 years old, wanted to be a Supreme Court justice. And then, of course, the, tragic irony that he wants to be on the highest.
Hey, Michelle, pull up the nightclub where she's out there talking, crying. The same woman.
We miss George. This is dedicated to George Floyd himself. May he
This kicked off the whole pandemic, didn't it?
yeah. May he rest in peace, and the Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't forget that.
So I just shared a link of her. If this is that same lady,
yeah.
Here's the Orlando one. Look how long it took her to learn about her son.
That's it. Mom's Demand Action. I think that's it.
Hold on, let me hold it up.
It's a good one.
When I grow up, I want to be a conspiracy theorist.
Oh goodness. Get back here. Stop
She
sharing.
also played a role of a very angry professor yelling.
Oh,
and
she's.
cussing.
We could show. Dub has every inch of this lady. It's just so crazy.
You need to pull her up when she's on The Price is Right too.
On The Price is Right.
She was on The Price is Right, yeah.
I'm sure she was.
She was also in Deal or No Deal.
Oh, was that what it was? One of those. That might have been.
Deal,
the one
Oh yeah, it was Deal or No Deal.
Yeah.
33 hours. Look, it took 33 hours. You go back down a little bit. It took 33 hours for me to learn my son had been killed at the Pulse nightclub. It took her 33 hours to realize that.
Yeah.
That's her.
That's not her, but that's a picture of some lady.
Where do you go down and look at this next picture? Like they try to say is her with her son at graduation. The next one. right there. I
Yeah.
was like, what the heck? Who's
No,
that?
that's not her either.
That's not even close to her.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy how they do this though?
Yeah, they do.
What
man.
is all this
They
crap?
throw this stuff out.
It does look like her, kind of, in the face.
No, it's not her.
No,
No,
not her.
that's definitely
The
not her.
smile's it. That's it. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see her eyes too well with those glasses, but
Oh,
Sometimes when everybody's related, they all kind of have a similarity to each other.
well, look at how they switch pictures on, like the cop that killed George Floyd, and then you know,
Yeah.
his mug shots.
I can't breathe.
I go outside. No kidding. Go outside.
she just looked so skinny right there, and I don't remember a skinny lady going like, "I demand action."
Close to her.
That's definitely not her. Let's see. Where can we pull her up at? God, Dub has like a ton of stuff on her.
Orlando Pope's.
Christine Lennon, how do you say it, Lennon or something?
Christine Lanolin.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Lion
Lion, yeah.
Lion chick.
Lionin.
Lanolin. Oh man. Man, we could really pull her up, like I said. But yeah, that one. Yeah, let's see here.
Mike said, I can't breathe and take the damn mask off.
I know, right? You can't breathe. That's what I tell people. And I'm like, okay, so if you have a mask on, I'm like, I can't hear you. I like do that on purpose when people have a mask that come.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm like, I can't understand. Can you pull it down? You know, because I'm like, I can't understand you underneath that mask. You know, I'm like, I just want to like grab them, like shake them.
I watched a video of someone going around. He was just recording himself, just making payments. He would try to like hand his card and money through the plexiglass all the time, and pretend he didn't understand to go around it or go under it or whatever. He was just always trying to shove his fist through the plexiglass. And the register people would always look at him like, what the hell? And he's like, and then he would come around. He's like, oh, so we got to come face to face after all. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, I guess. You know what I mean? So it was just funny. I don't know. If you're picking up what I'm laying down, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's mind-boggling to me that these people don't see this stuff. Don't believe in your government. Don't believe in any of that.
Don't believe it in anything.
Nothing.
But when it has to do with your children, come on, it's real.
It's the children. How is it? How does she say that? Do it again, Chuck.
Okay.
The children. Do it.
Brian, you do it. How did it go? Pull it up then real quick.
I have no idea how she said the children. I wanted to look up if CNN is reporting on this movie. What is it called again? Freedom?
The Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom.
The children. You say it so perfectly, Chuck. Don't back out on me now. The children.
CNN's dubbed it a controversial movie. Becomes
Play
a
that one.
surprise summer hit.
A surprise.
A surprise from CNN. What a surprise.
I still remember when CNN was over there in the Gulf War faking that they were over there, remember? And they had the gas mask reporters and everything.
Yeah. And they were in Atlanta.
There you go. Yeah.
So dumb.
Hey, I've been through Atlanta, Dub. It's kind of a war zone sometimes.
It is. I lived 20 miles north of Atlanta for 3 years, and I worked right downtown Atlanta, 100th block. I was like, I think our address was 102 in Atlanta. I was like right across from Georgia State. Yeah, crazy.
I drove through there once, and I thought the people were crazy merging and exiting off the interstates. I know that they were like real quick and getting off and on and type stuff, and it was lots of merging and whatever, but holy shit, I wasn't prepared for how fast people would just rip around.
You talking about the spaghetti? They call it Spaghetti Junction, where all them highways twist and turn over
Let
top
me
of
look
each
at a
other.
map once. I traveled from like California to South Carolina once and back. And anyway, I had to go through there. And I was like on the 10 and the 20. Those are the highways I was on, interstates. So I don't remember which one came through Atlanta, but it was horrible. Those people just, all the drivers. I couldn't sit there and
Yeah,
say anybody,
85 goes right through Atlanta.
but it was horrible. They go so fast, so fast. I just wasn't prepared for it. I probably went around it. I was on 20. So I was on the 20, popped out on the 20 again, probably. Continue out to South Carolina. Yeah, so I rode the 20, Highway 20, whatever, interstate, right through the heart of it all. And it was rough. It was just, I was just, like I said, I'm prepared for people to just be going so fast when people weren't going fast. Like the highway, all those inner city ones would be like 55, 45, and people would be going 85. You know what I mean? So that's what made me like, holy shit. If I would have known I had to drive like that here, maybe I would have been a little bit better off.
I'm searching. Hold on a second.
Like out in California, the highways are 5 lanes wide, and everybody will just go 80 mile an hour. So it's kind of just the way the flow of traffic goes. But there isn't all this hardcore merging and weaving like there was down there in the inner city of Atlanta. All that.
Well, people will be merging and weaving while they're FaceTiming and texting at the same time.
And to tell you the truth, this was over 10 years ago, so this was before all this stuff was hardcore, like it is now.
It's even worse now. Yeah.
I'm looking, so hold on a second.
What are you looking for?
All right. Let me do this. Because I saw someone say, Sandy Shook
Yep.
was one. Well, let's see. Let me do this. I did a video. I don't know how good it is. I haven't listened to it. Let's see. This. And hold on.
We got Janet from Australia, Waking the Lights in here. Good to see you. And Lord Racer.
Hi, Wake. Good to see you. Mod. Lord Racer, you're modded. So this was back in the Uvalde school shooting, and this was kind of my exposure to it a little bit, one of them. But see what you guys think.
This
is of a teacher that was injured inside the school, and he is now speaking out. Let's get this.
A special day on ABC News and WFAA, as throughout the day, we take a look at gun violence in America. And we start with a Uvalde teacher telling for the first time what happened from inside Robb Elementary. That day, 19 students and 2 teachers lost their lives. Here's Amy Robach.
I said, if I die, don't let it be in vain.
I would like to see the tears just by one person. I haven't seen tears from parents. I haven't seen tears from teachers. I haven't seen tears. I have seen people try to cry, but I haven't seen tears. Just saying.
This morning, Arnulfo Reyes, the 4th grade teacher in room 111 at Robb Elementary School, telling his story for the first time as he recovers in the hospital from 2 gunshot wounds hit during the
And he's wearing a Uvalde Strong shirt. Does that remind anybody of anything, like a Vegas Strong or a Garlic Festival Strong or a, it's everybody strong. Every time there's a shooting, it's, they're always promoting that they're strong. And the one thing I want to point out in this video is that people need to put themselves in these people's shoes and actually think critically and say, now, if I was in their shoes, what would I do? And I think that if you do that, it wouldn't be what you would do. All these parents that come on the day of, the day after, and they present themselves and showing pictures of their dead child, and not able to cry and go to the news media. Would you do that if your child died? I really want you to all think about that, because I know if my child died, I'd be out of commission for, it could be indefinitely, but I would not be talking to the news media, especially if I saw all the children die in front of me. It wouldn't happen. So I want you to all think about that, please.
Horrific massacre that took 19 students and 2 teachers' lives.
It was our typical morning, and we ate breakfast together. It was going to be a good day because it was going to be our day of awards. And some kids in my class said that hadn't gotten an award, all year, we're going to get an award that day.
Reyes says the children were enjoying the end of the year celebration. And while some students went home after the ceremony, 11 from his class stayed behind. They were watching a movie when all of a sudden...
11. He watched 11 children die, and he can't shed a tear. I want you guys to really think about that. He cannot shed a tear. He acts like he's crying, but I don't see any tears. And I would not be talking to any of the media at this point. I'd be devastated. I'd be distraught. I'd be devastated. I would be done.
Gunfire rang out.
The kids started asking out loud, Mr. Reyes, what is going on? And I said, I don't know what's going on, but let's go ahead and get under the table. Get under the table and act like you're asleep. As they were doing that, and I was gathering them under the table and told them to act like they were going to sleep, is about the time when I turned around and saw him standing there.
The gunman entering classroom.
So, you being responsible for all these kids, you're going to tell them to climb underneath a table that will not protect them, and pretend that they are asleep. So you're setting them up to die. You're not protecting them. You're not calling 911. You're not doing anything but telling them to pretend that they are asleep. Like the shooter wouldn't know that they were pretending when he walked into the classroom, because he hadn't been in there yet, so he knew that they weren't dead because he hadn't shot them. But he's going to tell them to pretend they're asleep. Does that sound correct? Put yourself in that position.
112 at 11:33 a.m., then making his way into 111 through a connecting door, opening fire. Reyes shot twice, a bullet hitting him in the arm and lung, and a separate one striking his back.
Again, so he had 2 bullet wounds. One that went through the arm, through the lung, and then one in the back by an AR-15. Do you think this guy would be up
That's
and
the
running
magic bullet.
and speaking and happy to talk about this after 11 children had passed away in his classroom that he saw? All I'm asking, would this be reality to you? And does this sound correct?
17-year teaching veteran hitting the ground.
I told myself, I told my kids to act like they're asleep, so I'm gonna act like I'm asleep also. And I prayed and prayed.
So he's gonna act like he's asleep also. So what? Did he lay on top of the desk and get in a fetal position and pretend that he was asleep? So when the shooter came in, he would think that, oh, I've already been here, so I have to move on. Come on, people. I'm done playing this video. I love you all. And I just want you to wake the hell up. God bless you. Have a good day. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What Michelle does best.
That was Michelle laughing, Marcy. That was her in the video, but that was her laughing in the background.
I'm laughing in the background because it's so dumb.
If you don't laugh, you gotta cry. I'd rather laugh.
I'm telling you. That's one of my older videos of Uvalde. I did a few of them.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I mean, really, I just had to show that because, somebody was saying that Sandy Hook. Oh, yeah. Uvalde was one of them.
Like I said, be careful talking about these. I'm telling you.
Oh, you know what?
You know better than that.
They're good. If they're going to take it down, they're going to take it down. I mean, I'm just telling you. I'm not scared anymore. I mean, they're just like you were saying, they're censoring everything. That's why I'm on my backup. But people need to pay attention to that kind of stuff. That's how stupid this stuff is. I thought that was pretty funny. I mean, I laughed through that whole video because you got to take the emotion out of it because it's so dumb. They get these people that have been shot in the head and shot in the neck and shot in the liver and shot with.
And they're on CNN the next day talking about it.
Hey, I got a good one. The girl in the Bataclan over in Paris a few years back, I think she was being interviewed by Anderson Cooper. A few days later, she got shot in the butt with an AK-47.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, man. I mean, you're talking huge bullets. Because she got shot multiple times. One of them happened to be in her butt. And she's like, I got shot in the bum. Just giggling and laughing about it. And like 1 week later, you get shot in the pelvis area with an AK-47. You're not going to be there interviewing in 1 week.
You're not going to be interviewing at all. And I mean, you're destroyed. You're destroyed.
Those bullets tumble pretty hard. They do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Anderson was a interviewer for those people too for a while. I remember.
Anderson covers all of them.
Yeah.
All the main events.
He's a Vanderbilt, and he was also a CIA.
Well,
he said ex-CIA, but he will say there's no ex.
Coaches them. It's like, hey, buddy, how you feeling after that? Does that make you feel bad? You know what I mean? Like just talking like that to him. I don't know.
Yeah, and supposedly all these parents that lose a child or something, the next day they're on Anderson Cooper. So like Michelle was saying, put yourself in their position. Your child just got killed. First thing you do is call Anderson Cooper so you can do an interview.
That's the last thing you'll do.
That's the last.
You know what? I'm not. Even though I know what the media, they don't. It's just.
And
real quick, dog named Boo said about the guy in the Boston bombing that lost half of his leg. I remember during that event there were ads for amputee crisis actors.
Yeah, yes, they do.
They're called amputee actors, and it showed them before. I mean, some of them were missing arms, some of them were missing legs, and then when they were doing it, this lady had a bucket of paint or red or whatever blood, and she was going around and like dumping it on all the amputee actors, and then they're like action. It was literally like a drill that went live.
Boston also had that exercise a block over of a bomb.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then they all come running over for the bombing. That's why there's always people just standing around making it look more, That's why they're always standing around. There's always a training event of some sort, and everybody's just like, "Wait, what's going on?" You know, and then they got to start directing people, like with the Vegas one, where they started figuring out, you know, the staging areas of certain people and how all that works.
Yeah. Michelle, if we're gonna go this way, you got to play Harrison Hanks, the crisis actor. That one is my favorite.
I'm sure I got it. Let me look.
I could send it to you. I could find it real quick on
No,
my
I got
Odyssey
it.
channel.
I have it on my
Okay.
channel. I just gotta find
Brian,
it.
have you seen that? Brian, have you seen that one, the Harrison Hanks crisis actor?
I'm sure he has.
Man, if anybody hasn't seen that, man, that one is priceless.
There it is. I got it. Oh yeah.
I had to step away for a minute. No, I don't think I've seen it off the top of my head, just remembering the name. that you're
Oh,
saying.
you got to play it for Brian. If Brian, you will absolutely. This is awesome. This is like my favorite when it gets into like the crisis actors and shootings and stuff. This one's the best.
Are you an elite?
It's like a spoof.
The attack not going as planned.
Yes, I have seen
Able
it.
to end its failing because you're using subpar crisis actors? Well, then look no further. Hi, I'm Harrison Hanks, the ultimate crisis actor. Need a medical doctor? In 18 years as a medical examiner, I've never seen anything like it. Yeah.
Is this one over the top? Is this one different?
Yeah, it's over the top. 33 children died. You need a grieving husband? Did a right-winger set off a bomb? Right, yeah, we're just milling about over there. Had a massive explosion. And I'm your man. Tired of melodramatic acting?
There's light away from the darkness. I'm just trying to figure out if he's okay. I lost my 20-year-old, but I had 20 years with my son.
It's just. That's her.
Tragedy, horror, and tragedy.
Or maybe you need me to tone down my good acting to match your sorry lot of wannabes. In that case, I can go from this. My name is Bobby Parmer. My family's one of the families that lost a child. To this. My name is Bobby Parmer. And my family's one of the families that lost a child. Going for the guns takes subtlety, like this. I don't know how many more need to die before the president does something. Not this.
Please.
There she is. There she
That's
is.
the woman that was on Make a Deal.
Yeah, that's that. Look at the nose. That's the second grade teacher.
Brian, is that who you were talking about with the tinted glasses?
Yeah, that's who I was talking about.
Yeah, that's her.
Could we do something with the assault weapons?
And every one of those hands is a reason why those
Anderson
weapons
Cooper.
should not be out in the general public.
Because in this kind of a situation, what has changed? Have we learned nothing?
Tired of green screen mishaps and disappearing noses? Me too.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say?
I'm green screen ready, bonded, and insured. I can morph into 1,000 different faces. I offer reasonable rates, and I have no conscience. Just pick your card to play on the world stage.
From homeless to police officer, from doctor to witness, to your ace card, the grieving father.
You can count on Harrison Hanks to push through your agenda. Regain their trust. Call Harrison Hanks for all your crisis needs. Thank you, and good luck.
That was classic. I love that.
Yeah, I did see that a while ago. And what I specifically remember is I commented on your video about the no conscience is what's needed.
Exactly. That's so true, though, man. Oh, that seemed like a lifetime ago now, doesn't it?
I know, right?
I love this one.
I have one thing to say.
I'm feeling so energized. I'm feeling so
The model's name is
satisfied.
COVID wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Hi, COVID.
Hello.
Will you tell us about your head to toe look?
When I was designing, I just wanted to play around with pattern and kind of break down the monotony of what otherwise plaid could do. So I just started cutting it up. I wanted to create shapes. I wanted to create volume.
What I loved here is the boldness of that print.
As soon as she walked out, I thought, oh, she's sick, but like sick in a good way.
Oh, she's
Loved
sick.
COVID's look. Do you mind putting your mask back on? Do you mind putting your mask back on? Thank you. Do you mind putting your mask back on?
No,
Hey, I
this
lost my
COVID's
channel because of these two
detailed
videos, Michelle.
3D applique. I mean,
It just gets better. It's sick.
Obsessed.
It's sick.
Obsessed.
Brandon said it, but you.
I probably got this from you, so it's your fault.
Yeah, I lost 2 channels because of this.
Yeah.
Can you breathe in there? A little bit. A little better like. It's a good look, but we want to keep you alive. It's a good look, but we want to keep you alive. It's a good look, but we want to keep you alive.
Outbreak of the deadly Pandora virus is spreading rapidly.
Stop the shit should we do?
They're buying it. They're buying it.
Hey, I did notice.
That's how old this is. Listen,
That's crazy.
is that crazy?
Yeah, it is.
I did notice that the dude and the other dude both had an accent that sounded a little effeminate, if I might say.
Just a
And
little.
then, yeah, just a little. And then there's some recent show that my wife and the kids was watching or something. I can't remember if it was them or what, but it was some cooking show or something like that, and it's something that's new. And man, it was full of all gay people. It's all full of. It's just like, are you kidding me? You have to be gay now to be on TV or something like that. But anyway.
Yeah.
How awesome would it be if we could get everybody to go over, if there was another platform? I mean, I know BitChute, but you can't do lives. It's just not as friendly. But I mean, things was so great before it was censored. 2017, 2018, before they did that, where that YouTube Congress thing where they started censoring the crap out of everything. Those were the good old days.
Yeah, live exercise. Exactly, Ange.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, 2016 and 17, you could put anything on YouTube pretty much.
Yeah, I had one video a long time ago. Man, that video had probably close. It was in between 50 and 100,000 views. Someone messaged me and said they added it to some type of playlist, and they're like, "Hey, I added this to your playlist, blah blah blah." And I was like, "All right, whatever." And
well, that was when the algorithms were fair. I mean, back then they really worked. You know what I mean?
That video just blew up. Only that one, really. You know what I mean? But it did. It was crazy. But anyway.
I've never had anything go viral.
And I had almost 400 subs back then too. Now I can only manage to gather 100 every time.
Mm-hmm. What the crazy part is when you see certain things that do go viral that are just so stupid. You know what I mean? And then the good stuff doesn't go anywhere.
I have a question for Brian.
Yep.
How deep did you go into 9/11?
Well, I don't believe in the Judy Wood stuff, so let's just say that, I believe in thermite, nanothermite was used, and that's what I feel. Molten metal don't make no sense because planes would drop out of the sky if that's what fuel did, melt metal. Anyway, that's where I'm at with that, I know that it wasn't the official story, I can guarantee that. I don't really believe in that Judy Wood stuff, so that's where I'm at with that.
What's the Judy Wood stuff?
Judy Wood is the. Sorry, are we watching something?
No. I was pulling it up. I'm sorry. You guys.
Okay. I just thought something happened. I was like, oh, something happened. No, Judy Wood was like the lady who wrote books saying that, there was energy weapons used down there to take whatever.
Oh
and
yeah,
let
that's
us know
garbage.
that if we get
Right.
out of line, this is what they're going to use on us and stuff. That was just to show how much power they had, what they could do. But there's other stuff I learned that there's no floors in any of those buildings. They only had floors all the way at the top where the restaurants were at, and then the bottom, everything else. That's why they try to say that the Woods energy weapon, like, where did everything go? Well, there was nothing even in the buildings. They were designed to be brought down. So let me say this, that in 1968, the Twin Towers began construction. Also in 1968, the 911 dialing code came to life as well. And then on 9/11, 33 years later, those buildings come down. There was only stuff in the top floors and bottom floors of those buildings. Everywhere else was empty, unoccupied, unused, designed for future event. Boom. That's
Boom. Yeah, totally agree.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Golf clap. Golf clap.
I'm just kidding. All right, so Danny put this up. Jason Aldean, which we all know was from the Vegas PSYOP.
Oh, I was talking about this a little bit too, about that, divide and conquer PSYOP with that.
Yeah. So I thought I would pull this up and let's see what Danny dropped.
Country star Jason Aldean just released the music video for his brand new single titled Try That in a Small Town. And since the release of the music video, Jason Aldean is coming under attack, facing much backlash, with the critics calling the song and video racist. As you can see here from the couple of headlines that we have for you, which have spread across the internet, many folks are claiming that Try That in a Small Town alludes to racist undertones. The Daily Beast, as you can see here, their headline reads, Jason Aldean catches heat for racist pro-gun lyrics, a modern lynching song. Billboard's headline reads, Jason Aldean's new track and video criticized as a pro-gun modern lynching song by some listeners. And on top of the headlines and conversations that the song and video have created, Try That in a Small Town has officially also been pulled by CMT. The video was pulled by CMT on Monday of this week, according to an article by Billboard. Billboard also indicated in their article that CMT declined to comment as to why they made the decision to remove the video. Despite the amount of pushback that has come from the song and the music video, many, however, are pushing back on that assertion, with the song reaching #1 on the US iTunes charts. The negative claims about Try That in a Small Town appear to be attributed to the lyrics of the song as well as the content used within the music video. As you can see here are just some clips from the music video that highlight disrespecting police officers, rioting, looting, and within the video there
blah, blah, blah.
are also several more
Blah,
clips
blah,
of
blah.
events that have transpired
There is
throughout
no
the
planet
country over
B.
the last
There is no
week.
planet blah. Blah.
This could be anything. Just think of that Kentucky gun show. But anyway.
Oh yeah, tell everybody what that was if people don't know.
So you have the Kentucky, I don't know if it was the NRA, but like whatever, they're down there having like a gun show of some sort, and they light off some huge explosion. And you can see all the cars and a detailed vision of what's going on prior to that explosion. And then
It was in the Middle East. They said it was in the Middle East.
Yes, the news tried to play it off of Syria, I believe, if I'm not
Syria.
mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah,
That was
they
it.
tried to play it off as attacks going on over there. And then what they did is they grained out all the cars and all the fine detail that you could see and just showed them the explosion as if it was off in the distance,
Yep.
Yeah. They're so deceiving, I swear.
That right there is why they censor us, because all it takes is a spark. If somebody puts a comment and words it to make people think, then if somebody starts thinking, they reach people they know, and it just starts, what's the word I'm looking for? Where it starts spreading, kind of like the roots of a tree. You know what I mean?
Wildfire? What?
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Grass
But,
roots?
they don't want that. They don't want stuff going viral that they don't control, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
All right. Let's watch the rest of it. It's almost over.
Years. And again, like I mentioned, the lyrics speak to the content in the video as well. talks about crime throughout big cities, but with the message looking to bring people back together, looking out for one another, and finding a sense of normalcy, which goes back to what Jason Aldean had to say when the music video was actually released. He said at the time, when you grow up in a small town, it's that unspoken rule of we all have each other's backs and we look out for each other.
Huh.
Chuck.
What?
Chuck yelled and then he muted himself or something.
Okay.
It feels like somewhere along the way, that sense of community and respect has gotten lost. Deep down, we are all ready to get back to that. I hope my new music video helps y'all know that you are not alone in feeling that way. So guys, if y'all have not yet heard Try That in a Small Town or seen the music video, go ahead and give it a listen. And as always, like we asked,
yeah, he's part of the club.
Oh, big time.
He's
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Well, this song is with the movie. This song came out at the same time as this movie's coming out.
July 4th.
Being pushed hardcore together.
Yep.
And,
good point. Yeah.
My buddy came up to me the other day. He's like, I don't know what everybody's making, because he listened to music. Remember to my friend Chuck. But anyway, so he's like, I don't know why everybody's making a big stink about it. And I said, well, they're probably calling it racist. And I didn't even know what the song was about. And then I listened to a little bit of it today, and I heard some of the things that he was talking about. And he's saying, yeah, come on, come try that in a small town or whatever. Actually, it was you guys who played it on here earlier. So that's how I know about it, even what it was talking about. And you think of the things that he was saying, that's like, you know, what we're going to do to some pedophiles. Come try that in our town. You know what I mean? I don't know, that type of stuff. I just see the same type stuff.
Yeah.
Freedom fighters.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're a patriot.
Or patriots, there we go, sorry.
No, if you're a patriot, you're not going to stand tall for this corporation. It's a corporation. It's not a company.
It is.
We are all enslaved, more than most people realize. It's totally crazy. Go ahead.
Speaking of that, if people don't realize that video, the Jones Plantation, remember the cartoon one?
Yeah.
Brian, you've seen that, haven't you? The Jones Plantation, about all the slaves, and you know, they're like, we're going to start having freedom. We got my cousin that you're going to be able to vote, you know, and it's just, I don't know, that was an old classic video that just shows everybody how the political system works. It's like in a cartoon to make it, but that was a good one.
Right.
No, I can't say I remember it. If I had to remember something older in that regards, I'd say the guy who wouldn't say his name, he's like, no, I'm Kunta Kinte, you know, or whatever. And we all know
Well,
that.
yeah, no, that, yeah, but I know what you're talking about. But no, this was good. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure you've seen it. Angie just said good one, but I know a lot of you guys in the chat have seen that.
Yeah,
cartoon.
It's a perfect example of how everything is ran. We are so enslaved.
Mm-hmm.
We are not free. We will never be free. And
not until we die.
Things are coming to a head. Yeah. Period. Things are real to us that we can see with our own eyes and understand. That's what's real.
Yep.
100%.
The illusion of freedom is real.
Yeah. We've never been free.
They got to give you hope. People call it hopium or whatever, but it's always a false hope. It's in a false hope in a man like Trump. You know, he's the chosen one, or you know what I mean? People are always putting their hope in a man.
I have a picture. It's a thumbnail, and it's that Martin Brodel dude, if you know what I'm talking about. You ever heard that name?
No, I don't.
All right, Martin Brodel. He's on BitChute. He's like an old dude, and it's a picture of him holding up a little bag, and it says hopium on it. Anyway, he'd always be promoting Trump. He'd have all this shit behind him on the background display, like smart people put books. Well, he puts Trump paraphernalia or whatever you want to call it, insignia, all that crap everywhere. And anyway, it's just a funny picture. Maybe I'll send it to you sometime. I'll send it to you right now.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
send it to me.
Let me tell you, the other day, like maybe 2 days ago, we were sitting outside at my patio table, and I had one neighbor from the other side of us and another neighbor on the other side of us, and we were all sitting down, and I don't even know what we were talking about, but both neighbors were sitting there going, we live in the most beautiful country, the most freest, the best country ever. And I did a double take and I said, what did you just say? Because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But that was my reaction. I was like, what? Say that again? And they were like, oh yeah. We're just so free and such
Wow.
and I was like, of course I couldn't say anything because I knew they were both, I was dumber for hearing what they just said. Just saying. Oh, crazy.
Hey, Michelle, I sent you something. It's a minute and a half. Play that. That's really good. It has a lot to do with what we're talking about.
I see 37 thumbs ups, by the way.
Let me look and see what mine says.
I've had today.
Mine says 1 still.
Well, you
It
just
does.
you need to keep your
Gypsies share Jones Plantation also. That's the second one. Jones Plantation 2? I didn't know there was a second one.
Let me say this. I didn't even know what I was going to say. I forgot. Hold on. Give me a second. I have to send it to my Skype.
Hey, the Jones Plantation, is that the one where the people end up being killers or something and they don't know it? Is that like the people, like he's going to meet his family or something and they end up being killers?
No.
Okay.
No. I'll see what Gypsies shared.
Jonestown psyop.
Nah, the one I got is the cartoon Gypsies. That's not the one.
Yeah, no, that one. Yeah, totally different.
Talking about Farmer Jones.
I'll find that one too.
I've got it somewhere.
I got it right here. Second one, pull it up. If anything, I'll share it in the link and you guys save it and watch it later if you want.
Give me a second. I'm working with a new phone.
Hurry up, Michelle. Come on, we ain't got all day.
Oh, right? I know, right? All right. So let me do this.
I just shared the Jones Plantations in the chat, but it's up to you. I mean, whatever.
No, I'll play it. Let me see here.
Propaganda is genius. Like Paul Harvey said, if I was the devil, I would keep on doing right what I'm doing.
I'm telling you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That one is so true. Let me see here.
You trying to pull up that donkey and the tiger one I sent you?
Yeah, I got it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Right.
I just thought this was pretty good. I heard it today. I mean, never mind the guy sitting, behind the bookcase like they always do, but just listen to the message.
All right.
Tiger, the grass is blue. The tiger replied, no, the grass is green.
Started over. We didn't
The
hear
discussion heated up, and the two decided to went before.
Okay.
The donkey said to the tiger, the grass is blue. The tiger replied, no, the grass is green. The discussion heated up, and the two decided to went before the lion, the king of the jungle. The donkey began to shout, Your Highness, is it true that the grass is blue? The lion replied, "True, the grass is blue." The donkey continued, "The tiger disagrees with me and contradicts and annoys me. Please punish him." The king then declared, "The tiger will be punished with 5 years of silence." The donkey jumped cheerfully and went on his way. The tiger accepted his punishment, but before he asked the lion, "Your Majesty, why have you punished me? After all, the grass is green." The lion replied, "In fact, the grass is green." The tiger asked, "So why are you punishing me?" The lion replied, "That has nothing to do with the question of whether the grass is blue or green. The punishment is because it is not possible for a brave and intelligent creature like you to waste time arguing with a donkey, and on top of that come and bother me with that question. The worst waste of time is arguing with the fool and fanatic who does not care about truth or reality, but only the victory of his beliefs and illusions. There are people who, no matter how much evidence we present to them, are not in the capacity to understand, and others are blinded by ego, hatred, and resentment, and all they want is to be right, even if they are not."
Wow,
I thought that was good.
that was way good. I like that. Yeah. Okay, so
People would rather be right than know the truth.
right. Well, it's easier to believe the lie than it is to know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. I've always said that. All right. Let me go in here real quick. All right.
We've been going about 2.5 hours. I'm gonna about 10 more minutes, and then I gotta eat. I'm starving. But
So who dropped the plantation to? Okay. We're going to do this one, and then we're going to call it a day.
sounds good.
Go back here.
Or period, with brute violence. But you cannot truly own a man unless he thinks your word is law and that he must obey, and is virtuous for doing so.
We are losing money. A little more every month that goes by with no end in sight. And that consents.
That's not it.
And they are going to smell blood.
Definitely
No,
not
no, 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 no. I shared it in the link. It was under me. That was somebody else. You.
While she finds that one, I'll say that Mike Jones just said that Pfizer equals 666 in gematria. Well, remember, Chuck, I just sent you that link or whatever that shows the Pfizer thing being hit by the tornado, that there was no serious injuries, but it definitely destroyed that building. So
Yeah, I told Michelle about that. Yeah, we were thinking about bringing that up, but I forgot.
Say that again.
About the Pfizer plant being hit by a tornado in North Carolina.
Do we want to do that one?
No, I mean, what? I don't care, either that or the Jones, whatever you guys want to do.
It doesn't matter. You can do the Jones one. I was just saying that since Mike put it in the comments. I was just saying, boom. Yeah, but I said it was like, something God did. There ain't no serious injuries, but then he wipes out something that is evil. All that. I call it me die sin. If you look at medicine and break that word down, it looks like me die sin to me. But anyway, go from looking at it your own way.
The English language is funny. Do you see it, Michelle?
No.
Hold on.
Hold on. Let me get it again.
Hold on, dang it.
I don't know.
I'm going to copy and share it again. Now, if somebody hasn't seen this, it is really spot on. It really is.
Got it. All right.
Marcy is the one that used to be a nurse, so she knows all about the medical establishment, I'm sure. Yep, that's it.
Mr. Jones owned a cotton plantation and many slaves.
One day he was talking to the owner of the plantation next to his, and Mr. Jones was lamenting the fact that times were tough. He was having to work his slaves harder than ever and was having trouble with some of them being disobedient or trying to run away. The other plantation owner said he knew someone who could help.
Day 1.
One day, Mr. Jones called his slaves together so a man named Mr. Smith could talk to them. Before beginning, Mr. Smith whispered to Mr. Jones, "Whatever I say, do not contradict me or interfere, and I promise you your slave troubles will end." "My name is Mr. Smith," he said to the slaves, "and this may be the happiest day of your lives. From today forward, you will no longer be slaves, but free men." Mr. Jones was so shocked he started to step forward, but Mr. Smith gestured for him to remain silent. He did, only because the other plantation owner had spoken so highly of Mr. Smith's skills. "You are no longer the property of Mr. Jones," Mr. Smith continued. "You are free. No more would you be forced to labor for the benefit of Mr. Jones. Now you can work for yourselves." Now the slaves were all murmuring and looking at each other. Many were smiling, many were looking puzzled. "In fact, you are now free to leave the plantation whenever you want," Mr. Smith said. "However, since we are surrounded by other plantations, if you leave, some other plantation owner will likely claim you as his own the moment you set foot on his property. So I urge you not to risk your newfound freedom by doing something so foolish. Instead, I suggest that you stay here, no longer as slaves, but as willing participants and part owners of this plantation. Yes, this is now your plantation." Mr. Jones bit his tongue to keep from objecting. "For now, we might as well leave Mr. Jones in charge," said Mr. Smith, "since he is the only one with any experience at running a plantation, which is quite a complicated thing to manage. But he will no longer be your master, but just another worker on the plantation. In fact, he will now be using his organizational and management skills to serve you. Whatever problems you may have had with him before, you are now all equals, and you need each other to make this work. If we all cooperate and work together, we can all reap the benefits together. In honor of this happy occasion, I present you this new symbol of togetherness and cooperation, this flag, which shall be the emblem of the new free Jones plantation." He held up the new flag, but most of those listening were still too amazed to respond. "And this shall be our motto," Mr. Smith announced. "We work together as free men for our mutual benefit, pledging our allegiance to the Jones plantation, which stands for prosperity, liberty, and justice for all. To celebrate, everyone has the rest of the day off. Enjoy your freedom, do as you please, and be back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, so that we may begin work on this great and noble new endeavor as equal free men." Finally convinced that Mr. Smith was serious, the former slaves applauded and cheered.
Day 2.
"We all want this plantation to do well," Mr. Smith said at the beginning of the next meeting, "so we can all share in the benefits. We all know that it takes a lot of effort to make a cotton plantation work. Just because you're all free doesn't mean you can stop working. In fact, since you're now working for yourselves, I expect you to work even harder than ever before, but now with pride and joy, knowing that you're working for yourselves. Of course, there still have to be rules. If everyone just does whatever he wants, the plantation won't produce anything. This experiment will fail and we'll all starve. You should be thankful that Mr. Jones has agreed to stay on to lend his knowledge and skills to this endeavor, and I trust you will all do your own part to make this work. Several of you have been chosen to act as project supervisors to manage different aspects of the operation, to make sure everyone is doing his assigned job, to make sure that the rules are followed, and so on. The rest of you may head out to the fields to start your first day of work as free men."
Day 3.
The next morning, Mr. Smith had a grim expression on his face as the daily meeting began. "I have an unpleasant duty to do today," he said. "Yesterday, Charles was caught keeping some of the cotton he picked, presumably to sell for his own personal profit. That is against the rules. That is stealing. For that, Charles must be punished." 2 men tied Charles to the whipping post. "I take no joy in this," Mr. Smith continued, "but you must understand, if we do not maintain order, if we do not have rules that we all abide by, then the plantation will fail. Common good, then we can all prosper. Being free doesn't mean you should be selfish and greedy. We must each do our assigned duties and obey the rules, and then we can all benefit, and each of you will receive your appropriate share of the profits." A young man named Samuel stepped forward. "But if you and Mr. Jones decide the rules and whip us if we disobey, how is that any different from what we had before?" "How can you say that?" Mr. Smith asked. "I'm shocked. You were a slave before, and now you're free. Things still need to be managed and organized by those best qualified to do so. Do you know how to run a plantation, Samuel? Well, no, he answered. But if we're free, why do we get no say in what the rules are and how things work? I'm surprised at your ingratitude, Mr. Smith answered. None of you know how a plantation is run, so you're in no position to be making decisions about how things are done here. You don't seem to appreciate all the things that Mr. Jones provides for you, from protecting you from all the outside threats you know nothing about, those who would come here, capture and enslave you if not for Mr. Jones' protection, to making sure that you all have food and housing, tools to work with, you're cared for when sick and injured, and so on. There wouldn't be a plantation at all, no cotton to pick, no land to plant and harvest, if not for him. You should be grateful that he's made possible the level of comfort you now have. Your lives would be far worse if not for him. Nevertheless, as free and equal participants in this endeavor, from now on at each meeting, any worker may have 2 minutes to ask questions or voice suggestions or complaints. With that, the workers all seemed satisfied and headed out again to the fields to pick the cotton.
Day 4.
I have a big announcement, Mr. Smith said as the daily meeting began. Mr. Jones' cousin is here, and not just to visit and see how our project is coming along. It has been decided that from now on, you will be deciding who will manage the plantation. Of course, this job can't be done by just anyone, but every 3 months we will have a special meeting at which all the workers will vote on whether we think Mr. Jones should run the plantation or whether we think his cousin, Mr. Johnson, should run the plantation. That means that ultimately you are in charge because you will be deciding which man you want running things on your
Hey,
behalf.
pause it real quick.
If you don't like the way things are being managed.
Think about it. You get to either pick Mr. Jones or his cousin. So, and they tell us that all these presidents are related to each other. So what's the difference?
That's our system.
Yep.
Yep.
Go ahead. I just wanted to add that.
All right.
Managed, you now have the power to change it. Amazed and pleased, the workers headed out again to the fields to pick the cotton. Days passed, months passed, a year passed, and the plantation continued to operate as before. Sometimes Mr. Jones was in charge, sometimes Mr. Johnson was in charge, but the day-to-day routine stayed exactly the same. The workers worked hard, long hours every day, and still had little to show for it. Every day the meeting would begin with them all reciting the Jones Plantation motto, "We work together as free men for our mutual benefit, pledging our allegiance to the Jones Plantation, which stands for prosperity, liberty, and justice for all." One day Mr. Smith announced, "Samuel is asked to say a few words this morning, and whatever the rest of us may think of his ideas and opinions, we are all free here, and that means we are all allowed to speak our minds. So, Samuel, you have 2 minutes. Begin." Samuel stepped forward, looking scared. "I was excited when all this started," he began, glancing nervously at Mr. Smith and Mr. Jones. "But don't you all see what's happened here? Nothing has changed. We're all still slaves." There were grumbles of disagreement from the crowd. "They tell us what to do and whip us if we don't. They still make all the rules and punish us if we disobey. They let us make suggestions and complain about things, but they never really change anything. They let us choose between Mr. Jones and Mr. Johnson, but what's the difference? The situation stays the same. We do all of the work and they take as much as they want and decide how much they'll let us keep. They live in luxury, made rich by the cotton we pick. We do all the work and have to build our own huts, grow our own food, and take care of ourselves. They leave us just enough that we don't revolt or run away. This is not freedom. We're all still slaves. They've only changed the words they use, but nothing else has changed. They say we're all free and equal, but we're not. They command and we obey. That's not freedom. That's not equality. They say we're free to leave, but all that means is that we're free to be someone else's slave. Why should we work or obey the rules? We didn't agree to this. They made the system. They forced it on us. They control and rob us and call it freedom. They've deceived you into thinking that being able to choose which slave master you'll work for is the same as being free. It's not. Open your eyes. If you keep what you produce, they call it stealing. When they take what you produce, they call it sharing and fair distribution. Can't you see that this is all? Your time is up, Samuel," Mr. Smith announced calmly. At his gesture, 2 supervisors grabbed Samuel by the arms and led him to the whipping post. "I'm sorry, Samuel, but you've broken the rules. There are rules against encouraging others not to work and encouraging others to break the rules. You're only hurting all of us with your discontentment and your complaining and your disobedience. The whip fell, and Samuel let out a grunt. Without rules, without order, all would be lost. Without law, there would be chaos. We can't just behave as wild animals, each doing whatever he pleases. We must all follow the plan and all do our duty for the betterment of everyone. And those who do not must be punished. The whip fell again, and blood flowed freely from Samuel's back. Samuel, it is you who are stealing from the others. When you don't do your assigned work, you are making more work for others. When you disobey the rules, it is you who are endangering the future of everyone else here. You are the thief. You are the criminal. You are the one trying to destroy the arrangement that keeps us all safe and prosperous. At every lash of the whip, the other workers cheered louder and louder, some yelling curses at Samuel. Being spoiled and selfish, you complain about everything, talking as if you're oppressed. But you are the one ruining things. You are the one keeping us from being all we could be. It is your greed and your rebelliousness that is hurting all of us. They all play by the rules, Mr. Smith said, gesturing at the others. What makes you think that you don't have to? You think you're above the law? There were loud yells of agreement as the whip fell again. We must maintain order, Mr. Smith proclaimed. To make this plantation great, to make it so that we can all be happy and prosperous. To have the society we want, there have to be rules. We all have to contribute our fair share to this great endeavor, and we cannot tolerate actions and attitudes that seek to undermine the amazing things that together as free men we have achieved and will continue to achieve. Mr. Jones was smiling as he gave Mr. Smith a pat on the back. The crowd was cheering so loudly that none of them had noticed that Samuel had died.
What you have been taught about government and politics is no more accurate or reasonable than what Mr. Smith taught the slaves. If you're ready to look through the veil of rhetoric and propaganda to see the reality beneath, get a copy of The Most Dangerous Superstition. It will
Hey,
change the way
that
you
was
see
good,
the world.
I thought.
Hey, Larkin Rose, that was the guy who made the video about the voting cattle. That
Oh,
was
was
the
it?
end. Yeah, that just said written by Larkin Rose. That was the guy who made the video about the voting cattle, if you know what I'm talking about. That was a good
Yeah, I think
video. He
yeah,
just goes
but
on and rant for like 20 minutes telling everybody that the people that go vote, you're the ones to blame in a sense like that. It's like you all sit here and
oh
say,
yeah,
do this, do that. It had the same narrative behind it where the government says it's okay for us to steal because it was all the same message. But anyway, Larkin Rose, the voting cattle. It's a great video.
I'll check that out. But a lot of people complain, it's like, well, why don't we just stand up or not take it? It's because they have the numbers. It's all about the numbers. You know what I mean? And the saying perception is reality. They create the perception through the media. They own all the media, and it's all about the numbers to them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because we outnumber them by a lot.
Okay. So I know Shay's like, I love you, Shay, and I totally understand where you're coming from. I want you to understand that. But they control everything. They now have just implemented FedNow.org, which controls our money. And it will eventually, they control the weather, they control our food supply, they control our money, they control everything.
They do.
They are in control right now. Right now. They won't be in control forever because God is coming.
Well, yeah, this world is given over to the wicked one. It's a temporary thing, but we're not going to be able to change things until God comes back.
You can't stand up to your congressman, you can't stand up to your president, you can't walk the streets and protest with your flag waving, because
No, we're not. We're not letting them. We didn't do this to ourselves. They have the numbers.
Nobody's letting
Yeah,
this happen.
they have the numbers.
Nobody. What
And
do
it's
you
prophesied. Yeah, this was prophesied to happen.
Shay, what do you want us to do? What can we do? Can you give us an example what we should do?
Some
What
advice.
should we do? some advice, an example, or what? What can we do? Because we can't.
When did we have the numbers? We've never had the numbers. I don't ever remember having the numbers. Do you guys? Anybody in the chat ever remember having the numbers?
There's more of us than them, but
Yeah.
there's not enough of us that are awake.
Well, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
Well,
that's
what
what I
I'm
meant.
saying is, there's like 1% of us that can go out there.
At best.
But there's not enough of us to go out there in numbers, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, walk down the street, go to your local Walmart, go to the DMV, drive, just go and try to talk to someone and see
Nobody's
who's awake.
giving up. Nobody's giving up. Nobody is giving up. But you have to believe in your Lord Jesus Christ.
You did grow up in a different country. Well, yeah, but back then we were all asleep.
Are you serious?
You know what I mean?
Are you serious? I grew up in it. What are you talking about, Shay?
No, it was a different country. It was back in the 80s, but this propaganda wasn't being.
It's a corporation now.
Yeah.
We're not in a country. There's the Patriots. Yeah, I could sit there and say USA all day long, but it's not going to save us.
Just like watching that movie is not going to change the sex trafficking.
Hey, I've come across the USA thing, if I haven't brought it up before on the chat, but I've talked to it about Chuck, I believe. The USA chants came around when George Bush was asked questions about 9/11. When a real question would come, it'd be like, USA, USA, out of nowhere.
Just
and
shut
then it would
everybody
shut
up.
that guy up, and they'd escort him out of the crowd. Well, I was just telling you, Chuck, about it, too, when I seen the Trump things coming up, now that he's something again. He's having these rallies and stuff like that here and there. And I've seen the same things happen. It's like, but what will happen is there'll be a break in the video, and it will come back to the chant of USA, meaning that they cut out the disruptor part of it all. You get what I'm saying? Like whatever the disruption was, they edited that out, and then it comes back into the USA chants. So that's.
What was that example you gave me? That was a good one. Well, you were telling me something that you were.
Well, the one with Bush, when he'd be asked 9/11 questions, and then people would start chanting USA when they'd be in the crowd.
Yeah, but we were talking the other day, and you brought it up. Well, it was another example where they did it. They started chanting USA, but I think we were talking about something else. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's just they use it in multiple things now, and it's just to drown out any dissent. That's basically the best way to look at it. Whatever it's being used at, it's when someone that wants to have a question answered or says something that the people don't want them to be answering or hearing or talking about. It's just out of nowhere. USA, USA. It just starts.
Yeah.
I want to address this with Shay real quick, guys. She's having some issues. I want her to understand that we're not giving up. But you have to be awake. And I'm not saying I'm more awake than you are, or Chuck is, or Dub is, or any of us are. I'm saying that if you cannot see, there's no fighting this. They've been in control since day one. If you don't understand that, I don't know.
Yeah, us being here shows that we're awake. We're doing something. What else can we do?
We're trying to keep the community as a whole for as long as we can. Okay,
They control information. They control the censorship. They control all the information.
This platform will be taken away.
Soon. Yeah.
Yeah, soon. I'm very grateful and thankful that I have all of you here. That we can do this. Tomorrow might be a different day. But
this was an amazing show. I enjoyed it. We had a lot of good people.
I'm not the one not awake. I'm the one who had to take all this for you, and you would rather blow off than try to save this place for all people. What?
Yeah.
Come
We
on.
can't save ourselves, and we can't save this place. This place is going to be destroyed if that's what we're even
It's
talking about.
prophesied that it's going to be burnt with fire the next time.
I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm trying to say that you have to come together with Jesus. You have to understand and know. I just there's nothing we can do, babe. There's nothing we can do. I'm not giving up. I will never give up. I will
Yeah.
be going down without a fight. Put your armor of God on, because we are in a fight for our lives, but we will continue our lives eternally. That's it. I mean,
But see, that's the patriot message. They give you hope. Like, we can do this. We can turn this around. You go out and vote. I mean, that's the false hope that they're giving people.
You can do it, right?
You can do it all night long. Yeah.
I think the people that are here are doing what they feel like they can. We're here trying
Yeah,
to
what
spread
else?
some truth and some.
I mean, unless you want to take a gun and just start popping some corrupt politicians, but
okay,
how
Shay,
far is that going to get you?
but that's the question I want to ask Shay. What
do we do?
What do you suggest us do? Because she says she thinks it's worth fighting for. What
Drop a link and let her come on the panel.
you want to come on? Come on, Shay. Let's do it.
Who's sitting on their thumbs? That's, I mean, nobody's sitting on their thumbs.
Nobody's sitting on their thumbs.
I know.
No, we're not saying, oh, everybody give up and you just like go in your house and crawl underneath a rock. That's not what we're doing. That's definitely not what we're doing. We're going to put the armor of God on and we're going to fight this to the very end. That's what we're going to do. That's what we want to do. That's what we're all going to do. So I just dropped the link, Shay. Come on. I hope someday, that you will hear yourselves, and so am I, Dub.
We feel the same to you. We hope someday you'll hear that I mean, the only thing you can do is tell people the truth. Tell them the gospel. I mean, because without Christ Jesus, you are hopeless. I mean, this world, it's already been, the end of the game's already been prophesied. And we know what happens. God does win, but it's going to get a lot worse first.
It's coming. It's here. Things are coming
Yeah,
down.
learn defense with your family. You got to have water. I mean, you always want to protect yourself in the short term. Storable food, but you're not going to be able to survive the great tribulation that's coming on this world.
You can't fight the government. You can't fight what's coming down. There's no way. We are so infiltrated with everything. It's so big. If you can't see that, I don't know what else to say.
It's the hopium. I mean, these people, you're putting your hope in this world.
Yeah.
You see,
exactly.
she's saying that we're not wanting to do anything. We're putting our hope in God.
Yeah.
Man's not going to save us. There's no man. There's nobody on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's nobody in politics. There's no Jen Caviezel in Hollywood. I mean, nobody's going to save us. You got to put your faith in God. This
we're
world.
fighting. Yeah. On the level, I'm sorry, Chuck. On the level said, fighting the beast will be billion arms that grow back. But we are in a fight. It's a spiritual war. It's a spiritual war. And
yep.
I I don't want to discourage you, Shay. I'm sure she's not here anymore. I haven't seen any.
Well, she had a husband that was a veteran that got killed by the jab, so obviously my heart goes out to her. We need to give her some prayers and be compassionate because that would be awful. And I can't imagine. None of us can imagine what you're going through.
I've known Shade for quite a long time. And I'm just saying that, nobody's giving up. Nobody's running away.
Nobody's sitting on their thumbs either.
Nobody's going underneath a rock and saying, okay, come on, transgender. Okay, come on, sex traffickers. Come on, government. Nobody's doing that. Nobody.
She needs to find Jesus and he will hold you up. Trust him alone. And you will get that peace that you're looking for.
There's no
Marcy Taylor, sister. Go on Marcy's channel. Shay, go on Marcy's channel. She has been through hell and back.
Yeah.
She has some of the most dramatic testimonies I've ever seen. She'll make you cry. She'll make you laugh. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. And Mike says all these things must happen before the coming.
Amen, Mike. That's the truth. Mike's telling the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the Prince of Peace.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, can we start saying byes to everybody? I gotta eat. I'm
Yeah,
starving.
we gotta go. So thank you, Brian, for coming on here and hanging out with us.
Thank you, Brian.
Yep, thank you guys.
Thank you, Chuck Middleton, Doug Wilkinson, even though you didn't say 2 words. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I thought it was an awesome live.
It was good.
I'm really grateful and thankful that you all were here to hang out with us. I'm not going to go through everybody's names, but thank you so much for being here. Until next week, it might be Saturday and it might be Sunday.
Probably Sunday again. I mean, Sunday seems to work best.
I think Sunday's better.
Yeah.
I love you, Shay. God bless you. God bless everybody being here. Oh man, I'm
Love
so
you, Shay. Glad you came. We're support you. Just hang in there, and we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
I want to say, very well done, Michelle.
It's not just you. We all have felt the same way. We've all been there. We all have had, struggles, especially nowadays.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Until next week, you guys hang in there. Hold on tight. Put your armor on, as we all know it. I love you guys. Thank you for being here, and we will see you next week.
Brian, Dub, Michelle, love you guys.
Love you
All
guys.
right. Till
Bye.
next week. Later. Bye.